Hello, good evening, and welcome to our coverage of Surrey's first home fixture in this year's Vitality Blast. We're here at the Kia Oval. It's a beautiful evening. There's not a cloud in the sky. We are set fair for what promises to be a very, very good game of cricket indeed. We have, as visiting, the defending champions. Somerset are here in the house, and they bring great class and pedigree to this competition. Defending champs, they won 15 of their 17 matches this time last year, and they are 1 from 1 already in this year's competition. They're coming up against the Surrey side, of course, who are in good form themselves. They've played 2, won 2. I'm joined here by Rana for the evening. We're going to be bringing you this live coverage across the evening here from the Kia Oval. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of this particular game, we're going to go straight to the highlights from the first game of Surrey's campaign so far. Away down on the south coast at the Utilita Bowl, and a good, solid 6-wicket win for Surrey to get their campaign on the road.
Years of age is Johnson as he comes in again. It's bowled! Oh, that's the perfect delivery. Blow. That's struck by Surrey.
That really was. So Physio's done well, and that is in the slot, and the first boundary of the innings. Now Worrell has had more luck pitching up, which he does this time, and bowls him. Steps away outside leg. I think he may have got a little inside edge, but it was a much better delivery. Vince has gone for 9.
Just watching on the live picture feed, we're just watching a rerun of that. He's gone quite a long way outside leg stump, James.
Right arm over. It's wide, and it is smashed, not entirely middled, but middled by more than enough. On that
bowls to the left-hander Orr. He's gone for the flick away on the leg side, and he's got hold of that just very quickly past the gloves of Jamie Smith down the leg. Here's Atkinson again, bowls to Orr. He's gone for the flick again, and he's fallen over. This could be out caught by Worrell. That short, fine leg. The ball just looped up in the air, and Orr.
Yes, it's a big, big wicket, because Ali Orr was beginning to look as a quick. That finally is absolutely nailed on that scoop shot. Absolutely superb. One bounce. And this time driven on the move, and that is a thickish outside edge.
Oh.
And a poor piece of fielding, I think.
I might have been injured if I tripped over my own shoelace and ate some of the table.
Here's Atkinson then, and there's another ramp shot. It's going down towards fine leg. Has this gone all the way? It's gone for 6. Well, there's a low full toss in the end from Atkinson.
Great evening for the cricket.
Yeah. Atkinson bowls, and they're short, and he's got a top edge pull over the top of Jamie Smith, and that's going for 4 runs. Quick bouncer there from Gus Atkinson.
Sean Abbott, the overseas from Australia, from Sydney. He's on the front foot this time is Albert, pulling into the leg side. A couple of bounces. I don't think the fielder's going to get round from deep square. They're not. Into Weatherly, who uses his feet and gets a squirty outside edge, goes past third, splits the fielders perfectly, goes for 4. 4 more to Weatherly. He's up.
The game's around. We'll keep you up to date with those a little bit later as he bowls, and there's a lovely hit on the leg side. Has he got enough on it? He has. It's gone for 6. Toby Albert.
Tom Curran to Weatherly, who uses his feet, goes across to the offside, sorry, and helps it to the leg side. 4 more. 1 bounce for this final delivery. And it's a shorter one outside off stump, cutting backward a point. It's racing away from Spencer Johnson, and it's going to go for 4. It's Curran, a shorter ball this time to Weatherly, goes up into the leg side. Fielder comes in, and I think he's taken the catch just about cleanly. No, it looks like it could be Dan Lawrence, actually. Runs in, it was Lawrence. Runs in, sorry.
In again, down the wicket, and that is some shot. That really is superb. Fuller giving the charge to the quickest bowler.
96 for 4. To Fuller this time, and that's a leading edge. It's gone up in the air. It might fall safely, actually. No, the bowler's coming round. Brilliant bit of fielding. Wicket on the circle if there was one. He's made up an awful lot of ground to take that catch. And James Fuller's going to have to go. Brilliant bit of fielding, brilliant bit of athleticism. That's hard. Using his feet this time. It's a brilliant shot from Benny Howe. The bowler does get a little touch on it, but it does go to the boundary for 4 nonetheless. Brilliant shot back past the bowler. Oh no, it is.
No, it is. I was right. It is Curran, and that slammed away for 4. It was short. It races in now, and again it's pulled away to leg side with exactly the same result, and the same Surrey fielder is going to have to go into the groundsman's area. Atkinson hurtles in. again, and that's flicked brilliantly round the corner.
Now uses his feet and he's trying to make that straight. He's got an outside edge. Runs back up. Ollie Pope gets his knee stuck in the floor. Play one shot too many there. It was good bowling from Tom Curran. He used the bounce in the wicket to try and get it outside of.
Fast arm, and that's swung away. And that seems to be the preferred spot. And this time it's short again. And this should go all the way. It does go all the way. It's a huge six. And that's pulled nicely again. This is close. No, should just be cut off. No!
In there. Curran bowls to Dawson, who's slammed the ball over cover. The field cover boundary was in by Curran again. Another shorter delivery. It's been skied up in the air by Benny Howe. Jamie Smith says that's fine. He's got the gloves on. He's taking the catch. On for 11. And Hampshire just stuttering again a little bit. 51 for 7.
Yeah, third wicket. Short, biffed, straight to mid, off. So Dawson has to go for 30 from 12. And that could be the difference between 160 and 170.
Only a little bit though as Atkinson comes in. Leg ball. Wood hits it over extra cover, or does he? No, that's out. Not quite enough power on that one. And Jordan Clark, 4 runs off it so far with a wicket as well. His Nisa's gone for the little paddle sweep. It comes off an outside edge. It ricochets down to short third, and that'll be another single. Good over there from Gus Atkinson. Keeps the Hawks down to 161 for 9 off there.
As in comes Nisa once again down the leg side. That probably might be a wide if it's not a catch, which it is. And Dan Lawrence has been strangled down the leg side. If he hadn't got an edge, it would have been a wide. Who comes to Nisa, who has bowled so well, Michael Nisa. And a big wicket if you're defending.
Here John Turner comes in and bowls, and that's immediately cut away behind square on the offside by Roy, and there'll be 4 runs.
Yeah. In again down the leg side and just helped on its way. Now that is the first iffy ball. Out-thinking each other there as Nisa is in again, and that slap just over mid-off, and it's going to be back-to-back boundaries.
Here's Turner again, bowls, and it's pulled away. That's a good shot through mid-wicket. That'll be 4 runs. He's certainly got hold of that one, Laurie Evans, all along the ground as well. Here, as Turner comes in and bowls, Evans pulls that away just over mid-on, and that'll be 4 runs. It's almost like now he's standing in his crease now. Turner again, bowls to Evans. Evans gets an inside edge. That's gone down to fine leg, very fine. He's trying to hammer that away on the leg side.
Over the wicket, and that's just guided brilliantly through first slip. That is a terrific shot. And that is a thickish outside edge, talking of smacking over the head, which has gone over the head.
What a great number to have on your back. He comes in now and bowls a full delivery and hits the off stump of Laurie Evans, who was trying to drive the ball back past him. A good delivery, was quick actually.
Just watching the replay of this.
Just went on, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah. He's not really
I think
in
he's
behind. Yes. Post boy stumped! Oh, Liam Dawson! Dawson bowling round the wicket. Pope's down the wicket. That's turned.
It's a lovely delivery, isn't it?
Drawn him into the shot. And Pope
pays off. Benny Howe then, with his licorice all sorts, gets the treatment first ball, or does he? There's a catch on the boundary. No, there's not. Oh! The fielder's going into the boundary edge, into the advertising boards. Right arm over the wicket, James Fuller. He follows the batter, Jason Roy, who flicks it off his legs. One bounce into the boundary edge. And that'll be Jason Roy, Jamie Smith, sorry, tries to lift this one over mid-on. Live earpieces. Off the back foot this time, swatting into the leg side. It's gone high, it's gone long, it's gone for 6 over the head of Nisa at long on.
Fought back in the 6 overs since I was last here. Oh, and that's a big, big, big wicket. It's Jason Roy bowled. Absolutely slammed his bat into the ground in frustration.
Can they make one fall for Surrey? And that's gone high up in the air. I don't know if I've done it. I don't know if I've created a wicket for Hampshire. It's down the throat of James Vince. That long off by James Vince. Tried to make a bit of room for himself, did Jamie Smith, sorry, and was just not able to get the elevation. High score of 50. He's off to a good start here. That's off the back foot, through backward point. Made a little bit of room for himself, goes for 4. Which is in about 13 minutes time off the back foot. Short, slapped into the leg side. That's the biggest of the day. It's hit the concourse on the full.
Really has bowled well once again. Oh, and that's a super shot. That is just fetched.
Nisa in again then, 139 for 5. It's short, it's slapped long into the night sky.
If they lose the first game, it's one of those things. Oh, and that's well bowled, and somehow, so Wood is in again. Clark flicks it through the leg side. It's a lovely shot. It will be cut off for the boundary, but they have the 1 run they need. And Surrey have a 5-wicket win with 4 balls remaining in this match.
5-wicket win for Surrey to kick off their campaign this year in the Vitality Blast, doing it with 4 balls to spare. Jordan Clark and Tom Curran getting it done there. It was a trickier proposition up in Cardiff against Glamorgan, and indeed at one point Surrey were tottering a little bit, 31 for 3, before Jamie Smith came in and really bossed the innings from there on. He hit 8 sixes in 38 balls as Surrey made it 2 in 2. Here are the best bits from Cardiff.
And this time Lawrence takes a drop down the wicket, and just clears the man at mid-on, and that's the first boundary of the game. And this time this is Lawrence charges, and he's got it away through the offside for 4. Lofted cover drive. And Lawrence has come down. I think he's got all of that. It's gone up in the air. It's going to be a catch, and he's out. It's been taken, and Dan Lawrence is out. It went very, very high.
Labuschagne.
And that's well taken by Marnus Labuschagne. So, and drives this one slightly uppishly, but gets it through the gap, and this one looks like it's going to race all the way. Yep, beautifully timed, and that's Jason Roy's first boundary. And that ball's driven, and it makes its way through to the boundary, driven from outside off through mid-on. In these new look shirts. Oh, and he bowled him! He's bowled him! Tim van der Houten straight through, and Jason Roy is gone for 11. That so far is hitting the pitch hard. Again, and he has! He's out! Caught behind! What an introduction, Dan Douthwaite, his second ball, and he struck.
Another, we keep saying it, another big wicket.
Yeah, he's gone for the ramp shot. He's played it well. Has just got enough on it. And he hits a wide full toss through point for a boundary.
So normal stance.
Oh, and there's another one driven straight, but that has gone through Douthwaite's hands, and it's gone for 4. One from Crane, now one from Labuschagne, and that's driven straight. Has he got all of that?
Yes.
I think it has, and it's almost hit the cameraman. Oh! I don't believe it. They've dropped another one. 2 and 2 balls. Oh, Glamorgan. We'll just take the shine off what's happened so far. Another back foot drive. Will this one be up? If it clears, Dan Douthwaite. And that's going at just over 8 and over, Surrey. And another shot, and that one, he's got all of that one, and that one is over the fence and into the taff, potentially. So can Labuschagne respond? And he looks like he might have done the same thing again. Yep, that one's 6-2. Yep. And that's another shot off the back foot this time from Smith. Same result. 6 more. So that's the third 6 of the over. And that has been a difficult over. And that's 50 as well for Smith off 26 balls. So Bevan. And straight away, that one is in the air. This could be out. Oh! Standing in the right place. Drives again. Has he got this one? This should be out. Yeah. They've got one. Finally a catch taken. And he's bowled it. Brilliantly bowled. It's Dan Douthwaite. He's through him. You think this one, he does get him to cut this one behind point. Has he got enough on it? It does. It's back on for Glamorgan now from the Cathedral Road end, and straight away that one has been drilled straight back for 6. Smith again, but this time I think he might have got another one. He has. He's gone big over the other side. 6 more for, and that I think is number 3. smashed into the stand in front of the pavilion, and that is it. And there's a big swing of the bat again. Has he got enough on this? Should be out, and it is out. Smith is out. He was gone for a few so far, and he's bowled him. Labuschagne straight through him. He stepped away. Curran. Cam Steele. It's a short one. He's got a lot of it, and it's gone for 6. Oh, has it? Perhaps he wished that one had gone straight on. And that's better this time. He's bowled him, no doubt about that one. Mason went for a few 6s. This is the final over his spell, and that ball has been smashed for 6 into the stand. 1 for 23 from his 3, and this could be a wicket. It should be. Oh, I don't believe it. I do not believe it. That's another one gone down. Went for the Yorker, and Atkinson's played that really, really well. Has flicked it off his toes. It's full, and the ball just drops just short of Marnus Labuschagne. They're coming off for 2. This could be a run out, and they're going to go upstairs and have a look, I think. Or is he in? I think he's in. First shot played in anger, and that's been pulled. One bounce to the mid-wicket boundary, and Eddie Barr steps away this time, and that one's been clubbed over mid-on for 4 more. That's in the air. This should be out, and it is. Eddie Barham has gone. Atkinson strikes, and that's cool. Northeast drive straight and beautifully for 4 runs. Lovely shot. Makes room and has sliced it down to 3rd man, and he's out. Yeah, perhaps commentator's curse. He is out, sliced it, going to chase a wide one, got a top edge. So Ingram back on strike. Short ball. Gosh. I think he's got hold of that one. That is into the stands. 6 for Ingram. And that's a beautiful shot, driven away by Northeast. He's timed it beautifully, and that's crossing the boundary now. And 1 more. And gets an edge, and that's gone for 4. Lucky. Labuschagne runs it off the face, a deliberate shot, and gets 4. Sweeps and gets all of it. 4 runs to Colin Ingram, and that's inside edge. Is that going to go all the way? I think that is a welcome boundary for Glamorgan. And Labuschagne, 24 not out, has a swing at this one again, makes for him, and he's got it through again. Didn't mean to put it there, but he won't care. That's 4 more. Short ball, slow short one. I think that's been well hit, and he finds the boundary. A welcome boundary for Colin Ingram. Swings this one away. He's got a lot of that. And 6! Swings it away on the leg side again, and that's 4 more. To Steele. That turns. That's been hit hard, and for 4 by Marnus Labuschagne. Made the room. Similar shot, this time on the other side. And that's gone for 6! Flat and for 6. They need to target him. That's a good ball. He's run that down fine. We've seen the power, and now we've seen the deftness, and that's a brilliant shot by Labuschagne. 16 off this over so far. This is a fuller one. He sweeps. Is it going to bisect the fielders? No! Oh! I'm mistaken. That's 4 more. And that should be it. He drives into the gap. It's a brilliant classical shot from Labuschagne, and he moves on to 50, leading this Glamorgan charge. As Ingram swings the bat, that's gone high. Straight over here. Oh! Swings this one. 2 full pitch delivery. Again, they're going to look for 2. And Labuschagne's coming back. Another dive possibly. He doesn't need to this time. Gets home. Good running. And that's another good over for Glamorgan. I think it's 13 off the over. And Ingram moves to 50. So it's Clark bowling now. And Labuschagne hits that hard. Oh, oh no, could be trouble again. There's trouble again. Oh, and he's gone. Is he on the field? I don't. Oh, so that's gone straight up in the air. Labuschagne straight up in the air. I think the keeper's under it. It's Smith. and it's out. And that, unfortunately, is the end of Marnus Labuschagne. Oh, you have to ask, is that the end of Glamorgan's hopes? Opens, clears the leg out of the way and drives, and that has gone for 6. A fantastic straight hit. And that's been swung hard and high. And it's gone for 6. If you can get hold of one. And there's one, exactly that. We've called it, Steve James called it. And that's over the screen. That big screen. This time goes offside. He's hit that one in the air on the offside. And gets 4. And over mid-off. Full toss. Hit it in the air. This could be out. And it is. I think that's... And he's bowled. Yeah, first ball, Tom Bevan had no choice really but to give it the kitchen sink, and he missed it. So last ball of the Glamorgan innings, and Van Houten swings that into the leg side. They're just going to take one, and so Glamorgan finish.
2 wins already for Surrey on the road. This is their first game here at the Kia Oval. And without further ado, we're going to go straight to the toss, because this is the same pitch that England and Pakistan played on the other day, and the toss was important in that one. It's going to be no less important here, so straight to it.
Well, here we are out in the middle, ready for the toss. With us are umpires Rob Bailey, Jack Shantry, and match referee Phil Whittercase, and of course the captains Ollie Pope from Surrey and Craig Overton from Somerset. We'll come on to that, and of course our fabulous matchday mascots Laith and Zidane. I believe, Ollie, you've got the coin. Craig will call. Tails is the call, and it is a tails. We'll come and Craig deciding to have a bowl. We'll have a chat with Craig in a moment, but first of all, with Craig. Craig, you've won the toss and you're going to bowl. Just tell us the thinking behind that decision.
Yeah, it's obviously a good wicket. Hopefully it chews on a little bit later and skids on a bit more, and we can use the pace as well.
We weren't necessarily expecting to see you here. What's happened to Lewis?
Lewis, he jabbed his hand in the ground on Friday. Hasn't quite pulled up how he'd want to. He's travelled, but wasn't quite ready. So yeah, I've taken his place.
And other than that one obvious change, any other changes?
No changes, just Lewis out and Tom Lavin in.
Lovely. Good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Ollie Pope, Surrey captain, what would you have done if you'd won the toss?
I probably would have had a bowl as well. Generally in T20s here, that's what we do. But it does look slightly drier than normal here, so it might be a good thing.
Things have started very nicely for you under your reign as stand-in captain. 2 wins from 2 on the road. Great to be back at the Kia Oval. How are the camp feeling after those 2 wins?
Yeah, good. Nice day to refresh yesterday. Obviously 2 on the road, but to get two wins on the roads, yeah, really good start. And then, hopefully we can get our first one on the board here as well.
Always special to be back at the Kia Oval.
Yeah, absolutely. Best ground in the world, isn't it? So the crowd looks like it's going to be top draw, and yeah, the boys are fizzing.
And your team news?
Unchanged from Glamorgan, so yeah, nothing more.
Lovely. So there we go. Here we are at the toss with the result that Somerset have won the toss and they are going to bowl.
Thanks to Sam, who's going to be our man on the ground for the evening. Yeah, so Somerset win the toss and choose to field. They are going to be chasing later on this evening. Yaz Rana is with me. Before we run through the teams, your first impressions of that decision?
Well, so this is the 3rd game to be played on exactly the same pitch over the last few days here. You had England and Pakistan on Thursday, and you had the South East Stars take on the Vipers today. Exactly the same thing happened in both games. The captain who won the toss chose to bowl first and ended up winning chasing. So no real surprise that Craig Overton, fitting in for Lewis Gregory today, has gone the same way. We saw England spinners go pretty well a few days ago. Adil Rashid and Liam Livingstone were both very economical. Liam Livingstone, I think, 1 point bowled a double wicket maiden. So, you know, looking at it, we'll come to the teams here, and I think we'll see, in particular with Surrey's selection, maybe having seen what happened on Thursday in particular, has influenced how they've gone.
Yeah, so we'll come to Surrey's side just in a moment. They are going to be unchanged, but Somerset first and kicking off just as we had the other day. Tom Bant and Will Smead up top. It's an explosive opening partnership. Tom Kohler-Cadmore will be in at 3. He's back from the IPL, having taken his bow for Rajasthan Royals. He came back for the first game just a couple of days back, and he's in there first wicket down. Tom Abel, who is in good form, in at 4. Sean Dixon 5. Tom Lammonby is your only change from Somerset's first game. He comes in for Lewis Gregory, who was the star of the show the other the other evening against Essex. And Lammonby comes in. Lewis Gregory, we don't have the specific details, but we assume he must have picked up a little knock, Yaz, from that game, because he's a man in form, and as skipper would have been leading them along.
Yeah, it's a big loss, but at the same time, Tom Lammonby is one hell of a player to bring in. We're seeing in red ball cricket this year, he's really showing the best of his game. He's had a quiet few years in red ball cricket, and it's actually quite a similar story in white ball cricket as well. Not in the Somerset 11 for the start of the season. Had a quiet year in 2023. I don't think he got a half century and played most of the competition for Somerset. And he bowls less, crucially, than Gregory. One of the strengths of the Somerset side in the first game against a very strong Essex 11 was that Somerset had 6 genuine gun bowling options, and Lammonby is a capable bowler, but he doesn't bowl as much as Gregory. I don't think bowled at all in last year's competition.
Coming off the back of 100, of course, in the championship game, so he'll be feeling good about returning back here to the Kia Oval. Ben Green in at 7, bowling all-rounder, one of the stars, in fact the star, you'd say, of the 2023 Vitality Blast, leading wicket-taker. Craig Overton skippering in Lewis Gregory's absence at 8, brilliant. Storied cricketer, really, at county cricket level. Roelof van der Merwe, a match winner down there at number 9, bowling canny left-arm darts, of course. Jake Ball, who started the season well, looking to, if you like, kick-start his career after a fallow couple of years at Notts, and he's going well so far for Somerset, his new club. And Riley Meredith, who you caught some of the other night, Yaz, sharp.
He's quick. He's really quick. So if you're comparing the Somerset side this year to last year, another big change is that Matt Henry had an outstanding campaign last year, but he's not with Somerset this year. He's with New Zealand at the T20 World Cup at the moment. But Riley Meredith, we're seeing a lot of Australians in county cricket this year, particularly in the Blast, who are just outside their first choice white ball setup. Obviously a very hard setup to get into, given you've got Stark, Cummins, Hazelwood, etc. But Meredith, like a couple of Surrey names we're about to see in a second, one of the best seamers going.
Yeah, so just coming to Surrey's side, unchanged, which is mildly ironic considering the depth that they have in their squad, but of course they have a number of players who are unavailable due to international commitments. Sam Curran, of course, is out there with England alongside Chris Jordan, alongside Will Jacks. And so they've gone in with the same side as was the previous game. Dan Lawrence, new, of course, here at Kia Oval, opening the batting. It's a role that he played infrequently for Essex, but has some pedigree there as an opening bat. And clearly Surrey fancy him. He hasn't quite got going yet. Caught down the leg side against Hants, which can happen. And he'll be opening up with Laurie Evans, of course, who knows this ground like the back of his hand, really. He's been here on and off for the best part of 15 years. And they will be backed up in the top 3 by Jason Roy. We're not used to seeing Jason Roy in at first drop. Of course, he's an opening batter by trade. But again, it's just another sign of just how strong they are, Yaz. Ollie Pope as well, skipper in the side at 4. Jamie Smith on the back of that 76, career best 76 the other night, from 38 balls. And Tom Curran completes a pretty formidable top 6. Yeah, no, it's a really strong top 6. And we saw Jamie Smith have a very impressive start to the 2024 summer against the Red Bull, but he was phenomenal against Glamorgan the other night. He had very short straight boundaries and he was ruthless. 8 sixes in the 39 ball innings, did you say? That is some going. Jordan Clark, Sean Abbott, Cameron Steele, all good bowling all-rounders. Gus Atkinson is sharp and quick, and of course Spencer Johnson is equally so. Left-arm seamer from Australia completes a varied and diverse bowling attack. Yeah, there's still no space in the 11 for Dan Worrell. Dan Worrell is the opening bowler for the best team in the SA20, which a lot of people say is the second best T20 competition in the world. And sorry, even with no Reece Topley, no Sam Curran and Chris Jordan, even then Dan Worrell's not getting the side. Not a bad place to be. We're going to throw back to Sam Kerr, who is back on the outfield for us.
Well, I'm joined by a new face for Surrey here at the Kia Oval, but not a new face at the Kia Oval full stop, because as you will all remember, Spencer Johnson here took 3 for 1 for Oval Invincibles in the 100 last year. You must have fond memories of this place, Spencer.
Yes, it's very good to be back. The Oval, what a place to play, and yeah, very excited.
Different shirt this time. You obviously the audition went well with the Oval Invincibles. When did you find out you'd be here playing for Surrey? When did those conversations start?
They probably started midway through the IPL. Kind of looking forward to keep playing, and while the World Cup's on, so I think it's a nice fit here, and I'm happy to be here.
And I guess a lot of the guys that are involved in the 100 at the Oval Invincibles are also here at Surrey, so not like you were coming into a dressing room without knowing anybody, some friendly faces.
Yes, there's some familiar faces, and it's nice to be back in the dressing room up there and hopefully winning some more games.
Yeah, well, talking of winning games, so far so good. 2 wins from 2 on the road. We always talk about momentum in T20 cricket, how important that is, how important it is to start well. But tonight will be a tough challenge, right, against the defending champions and a side that won their first game as well.
Yeah, exactly. We've had 2 wins away from home, and I've been back-to-back with a bit of trouble there. So we're probably just starting to hit our straps here with, I guess, we probably didn't play our best cricket, but we're finding a way to win. So looking forward to back at home and a new challenge against Somerset.
And we can't talk about the Kia Oval without that night against Manchester Originals in the 100. Has it sunk in all these months later that you bowled 20 balls for 1 run and took 3 wickets?
No, it still feels quite bizarre, to be honest. I think, that night was pretty special, but I've probably got what's happened from then to now is I've probably got that night to thank. So holds a very special place, the Oval, but we've moved on from now.
So you'll have some tingles down your spine when you take to the field again back here, even in a Surrey shirt.
Well, hopefully the crowd can get around us tonight and we get another win.
Thanks so much for your time, Spencer, and good luck tonight on your home debut for Surrey at the Kia Oval.
These girls train their whole lives for moments like this. Listen to the Oval crowd.
Spencer Johnson there, looking forward to seeing him later on in the piece. He forms a number of fast bowlers out there that are going to be particularly exciting on this pitch. That's shown that it had a bit of life on Thursday evening. Mark Wood playing for England really did get it through, left a few on the gloves of a couple of Pakistani batsmen, and we're going to see pace and bounce, which is what we've come to be expecting here at the Kia Oval. He's not the only quick on show, of course. Riley Meredith for Somerset also definitely gets it down there at a fair old lick, and Sean Abbott as well, completing a triumvirate of Australians as well, can certainly bend his back when necessary. You're interested in the batting lineup and the composition of the lineup for Surrey, yes?
Yeah, I think the most striking thing is seeing Jason Roy at 3. This is a man who is always at the top of the England white ball order in ODI and T20 cricket for years and years and years. He plays T20 cricket all around the world, but he's in at 3. So I was looking this up earlier today. So Roy has only batted at 3 39 times in his entire T20 career. 19 of those came under Rory Hamilton-Brown's captaincy, which you have to go back a long, long time to go back to Hamilton-Brown tenure as captain. So this isn't something that he generally does. This is not something he's really been doing in leagues around the world. So we were asking, why is he there? And I think it might be to do with his availability. Roy will not be part of the Surrey group for the last 6 group stage games. He's honouring his Major League Cricket contract. So I think it makes sense for Surrey, because a big problem that counties have in the Blast is you have to structure a group of players with hugely variable sets of availabilities. Different international series taking place takes players out. And I think Surrey are looking for stability, I reckon, in Dan Lawrence and Laurie Evans, 2 very capable white ball players. I guess they're giving them both an opportunity to say, you know what, you have 14 games. So they have that stability at the top, regardless of who's around.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. Dan Lawrence has been signed as a multi-format cricketer here. He started the season very promisingly in the red ball stuff. He's made a couple of hundreds. He's looked impressive on occasion for Surrey, and I think they see him, as you rightly say, as the long-term future to face up in the first 6 here. Jamie Smith in at 5. He's the man of the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a bit of the golden boy of English batting at the moment. A lot of really exciting batting talent out there. And I think Jamie Smith is maybe the numbers don't show it, but he's arguably the most eye-catching of the lot. You know, you've got that Surrey top 6 in red ball cricket where everyone has played international cricket. Smith is the only one not to play Test cricket, and we watch a lot of them. Smith is arguably the most watchable. He's comfortable against the real quick bowlers. Very proactive with his feet. Naturally very aggressive. And again, a sign of Surrey's strength in depth over the last couple of years. He's not always found a spot in the T20 side. That won't be a problem this year. And we've seen him inked in at 5, and he did brilliantly against Glamorgan. Extraordinary destructive knock, 76 off 39 balls. So yeah, I think he's one to watch for sure.
It's well, 10 of the 11 are right-handers.
Yeah.
Crumbs of comfort for Somerset, perhaps. It's just unusual, isn't it? You don't often see that. There's normally that kind of variety, especially in your top 5 or 6, and there's value in changing it up and having a couple of lefties in there. But they're all right-handers here for Surrey. And it's actually a right-hand dominated game. If you look at Somerset as well, then of course you have Tom Lammerby, who's a lefty at number 6. But again, 5 right-handers in their top 5, and you don't get many more explosive opening pairs than Smeed and Banton, both of whom are in form.
Yeah, 100%. And I think if you look at the right-handedness of this game, I wonder if that played a factor in Surrey's selection. Cam Steele has essentially been chosen over Dan Warren. We're talking up Worrell's white ball as well as red ball credentials earlier on, and I think with Steele he turns the ball away from the right-hander. I wonder if Somerset's right-handed heavy lineup was a factor in that selection.
So Will Smeed, who of course is a T20 specialist, plays exclusively T20 cricket, of course.
He plays T10 as well.
Plays T10 as well, and T5s when they come around, and T1s no doubt sometime down the line. And he began explosively a couple of days back as well, of course. And Tom Banton, who is playing all the formats and is, if you like, redefining himself in red ball cricket. He's made 130 and a couple of 80s as well already for Somerset this year in red ball cricket. But this is where he's really already established one of the most dangerous and most exciting young players in the country. We're going to catch them, of course, later on, Somerset having won the toss and chosen to field first. But do hang around throughout the evening because this game is packed with quality from top to bottom.
Just to throw it to you, Phil, Dan Lawrence, who we will see open the batting here, you've watched a lot of his career. I sort of sense there's almost an untapped reserve of numbers in white ball cricket. You look at his numbers and that doesn't do justice to the talent he's got. And he's never really had a set role. I know he's opened a little bit for Essex, but he sort of batted everywhere over the course of his time at Chelmsford. You must be quite excited to see him up top.
Well, he's one of the most watchable players in the country. Doesn't matter what format he's playing, he's compulsively watchable. Even if he's bowling off the wrong foot, chest on, round the wicket, he's a very, very watchable cricketer. What he is a cricketer of moments rather than numbers at the moment. I think that probably applies as well with his red ball game, although those numbers are going in the right direction for him. He's a match winner, but he's not the kind of player that you expect to be churning it out week after week after week. But perhaps being given this clear responsibility now in this side, perhaps they are saying to him, they are conferring that kind of responsibility onto his shoulders. He's at the right point in his career to kick on. 100%,
and also with the way that T20 cricket is going, we're seeing run-scoring records break almost on a weekly basis at the moment. You feel that will suit how Dan Lawrence naturally plays cricket quite well. So I think one of the most surprising things when you look at Dan Lawrence's T20 numbers is the strike rate's not actually that high. I know that goes back to when he was literally a child playing for Essex in 2015, but he's got a career strike rate of 143 opening batting, which is good. But you think that someone like Lawrence, if you give him total license up top, which Surrey have given to him this season, you can expect that number to be much, much higher than that.
He's a very selfless cricketer, and that was one of the things that marked out Jason Roy, and always marked Jason Roy's career, that he has an ultra-aggressive way of going about it. Never looks for his own score, only the team situation, and Lawrence is cut from very similar cloth.
No, 100%, 100%. And I guess worth talking about the other opener, Laurie Evans, as well. So Evans, predominantly a middle order player going back a few years, really came into his own around 2019, 2020. as a middle order T20 player, but got an opportunity last season for Surrey. Scored 118 not out against Glamorgan. You know, when you're putting in performances like that, it's quite hard to argue that he should be up top as well.
Yeah, talking about watchability, Lawrence's all intricate angles and unorthodox flair and wrists to die for. Laurie Evans is a more classical player. He made his debut, yes, in 2007.
Wow.
For Surrey. You were barely even born. So here we are, Craig Overton to get us going. Overton, of course, one of the most reliable seamers out there in the country. Player of test match quality, of course, and has been essentially the attack leader for a number of years now for Somerset in all forms of the game. He was very impressive in the four-day game earlier in the year. Now leading this side, of course, with Lewis Gregory out with Dingle. Upish straight away, but in the gap, and that will run away for at least a couple. They might look to come back for a third, and they will make that comfortably enough.
Yeah, I think Craig Overton's white ball ability goes under the radar a little bit, because we've seen him play Test cricket for England and do pretty well. But last year, he was as much of a reason for Somerset's success as Matt Henry. Those two with the new ball were absolutely lethal. Craig Overton took 18 wickets at 20s, and across the season went to 7.35 runs and over. When your home ground's Taunton, that is some effort.
Very difficult bowler to get on top of, and almost literally to get on top of, because of that steepling bounce he gets. Bang on cue, as expected.
Interesting, looking at the field that Somerset have got in place early on. You've got a man in the ring at short fine leg, and the leg side boundary fielder is at deep square leg. Does that suggest that they think it's a maybe slightly slower pitch than you normally expect here at the Kia Oval? I don't know.
Beats him. Just trying to angle it down to deep third, Laurie Evans, but nothing doing there. And a tidy start here by Craig Overton. And
also no slips. You think Craig Overton, one of the most accurate new ball bowlers in the country, captaining, would quite like to have a slip or two in, but no, the two catching men are short in front of square, short cover, short mid-wicket, so potentially slightly slower to what we usually see here.
First sign of unorthodox aggression. One bounce for Laurie Evans is away.
Yeah, that's some shot from Laurie Evans, just second ball, ramping the ball over that short final leg fielder we mentioned a couple of balls ago. So many players now have that shot in their locker, and I think as soon as most white ball openers see a short fine leg, that's why I thought it was quite an interesting field move. They will see that as a run scoring opportunity.
Makes room this time, slaps it down to deep third, and he's straight into the palms, and he's gone. Rather cranky with himself. Just one man outside the ring on the offside, and he's picked him out. He's barely had to move down there. He made space to play the shot. It was there for it. He didn't get on top of it as he planned. And that was easily bagged at deep third. Barely had to move a muscle. Yep. And so, first one down.
Straightforward catch for Tom Lambie. We were talking earlier about how batting intent is changing in T20 cricket. And, you know, that's a shot that we might not necessarily have seen a few years ago. One ball after ramping Craig Overton for a one bounce four. Coming down the ground, giving himself room, looking to take him on again over the offside field, but doesn't quite get it right. And Jason Roy comes in at number 3. Pretty similar to opening the batting when you're coming into the seventh ball of the contest.
Yeah, you can't help feeling slightly hard done by. You know, an thickish edge like that can fly anywhere. You take your chances, but you feel like the odds are on your side as a batter. But nothing doing tonight for Laurie Evans, and so he departs. 7 for 1. Dan Lawrence to face up to Riley Meredith. So the Aussie quick, who has been building up for me all afternoon. He's going to take the new ball. So Jake Ball, I imagine, will be bowling perhaps in the latter part of the first 6. Meredith has pace.
Yeah, this should be fun.
Lawrence goes, and he's gone. Straight off the hit, straight to the man at deep square. Can have no complaints. It's a conventional field that's been set for Somerset, and Lawrence has played right into their hands.
Yeah, sorry, 7 for 2, 7 balls into the game, and you feel 2 very soft dismissals, really. You wouldn't really say that Somerset have probably got these 2 Surrey players out. They've gifted their wickets away. Dan Lawrence, 1 ball after his opening partner fell, finding the only man out in the deep leg side field. He falls for 3. Surrey in real trouble already, 7 for 2. And we talked about the batting depth that Surrey have. They're going to have to use it.
Yes, curious shot. Almost a checked, straight batted attempt, perhaps at trying to punch it a bit straighter, maybe a bit more through mid-wicket. Didn't get enough of it, and it's skewed off the inside half of the bat, airborne to the man at deep square. Dan Lawrence will be disappointed with that. He's not got going yet in this tournament. And suddenly, 7 balls into this game, in this beautiful balmy evening here in South London, Ollie Pope, the skipper, is joining Jason Roy. It's fair to say with Pope that he could probably do the score. He's had a slowish start by his outstanding standards. Meredith, 1 delivery, 1 wicket already. Got to hurry, really got to hurry, would have been gone, would have been comfortably gone.
Yeah, I'm not totally convinced the run was on there. Ollie Pope, as soon as he made contact, shot off, but he timed the ball almost too well, went straight to the fielder at a shortish bit on. We'll see the replay here. Yeah, he's well out of his ground if the fielder hit.
Yeah, you don't have to be standing at square leg to see that. That's a run of a chap who's looking to get going, I think. Perhaps not entirely at ease with his game. Ollie Pope is Ollie Pope, of course. It can change in a heartbeat, but let's bring Jason Roy onto strike. 8 for 2 already. Squared him up this time, bit of pace.
Yeah, I think you could maybe argue that even for the ball that got Dan Lawrence out, the strangeness of Lawrence's shot, perhaps the extra pace of Meredith coming into play there, not giving the batter as much time to decide what to do. And he's hurried Jason Roy first up with a player who's faced a lot of real fast bowling over his career. Some start from Meredith, right on the money.
Yeah, it's a good point. I think looking back at Lawrence's dismissal, I think you're right. I think he's trying to punch it rather than pull it. Just that extra half a yard rushed him into the shot. Meanwhile, these 2 batters are just taking a moment. There's been an impasse in this game.
It's a real opportunity for Somerset to go in for the kill. 8 for 2 already. Craig Overton and Riley Meredith with the new ball. 2 high-quality players in Jason Roy and Ollie Pope, but 2 men short on runs recently.
And that's Jason Roy's response. He's not happy, he's Jason Roy. He's removed his helmet now. He's in some discomfort. I think it may have well been from the first delivery, which squared him up and maybe took him on the wrist or the lower part of the arm. He's certainly in some pain. Physio coming on.
Yeah, Jason Roy looks to be in some discomfort here. We saw there Jason Roy using his feet again. That is what the modern player does when a bowler is bowling well. When a bowler like Meredith or Overton is bowling accurately, the flip side of being accurate is that it's predictable. And Roy was discomfited by that first ball that Meredith bowled. And in using his feet, I guess is trying to get Meredith off that length.
Well, we do have this slight pause in the game, and Jason Roy looks more than ready to crack on. So, too drastic, I don't think. But yeah, just a quick reminder, surreybroadcast@gmail.com. So, any thoughts, any queries, any observations, any left field questions for Yaz, do fire them over to us, surreybroadcast@gmail.com. And even in the hurly-burly of a T20 game, we'll do our best to try and get through a few over the course of the evening. Jason Roy again, just removing his helmet and trying to compose himself. So this is the second delivery. He's got in a bit of a pickle. It looked like the ball may have ricocheted up to hit him on the helmet, perhaps even under the helmet. He's still in some discomfort here. Surrey physio Paul Steele is just going through the various protocols that are required, of course, whenever there's any kind of clanging on the helmet. And he looks okay, does Jason Roy, but
not comfortable.
Not comfortable.
Not comfortable.
It's not been an ideal start to his innings so far.
Sometimes when a batter is struck, you see them call on the physio, and the physio sort of gives him a little rub, gives him a bottle of water, and you crack on. But it's been a relatively lengthy break in play here, and we saw, you see the replay here, the ball striking Roy's forearm.
And then onto the helmet, and so it's a double hit for Jason Roy. You could see how discomforted he was from the blow to the arm. And of course, the ricochet into the helmet.
But he will continue.
And Surrey needed to. This was not the start that they had planned here. Coming off the back of two convincing wins on the road. Southampton and Cardiff. But Somerset, I mean, there's no more complete team in this competition. They were outstanding last year. They've kept the nucleus of that team together here. I guess Meredith would be your Matt Henry replacement, but essentially this is the same squad that dominated last term. Pokes away into the onside, and he'll pick up a couple.
Yeah, if you were to judge a T20 unit in the UK on how many of the players in the 11 are the high-quality franchise leagues around the world in the winter interested in, this Somerset side is packed full of players that pique the interest of some of the best franchises in the world. I mentioned Tom Curran, Cadmore playing playoff cricket in the IPL. That is basically as close as you get to the business end of World Cup cricket.
Trying the cross-bat swipe, but in no position to play it. And again, a bit of extra pace. Pope hit as well there, and you can see he's just off camera. You can see he's just trying to keep the blood pumping. It's been a rather chaotic start. Compelling stuff, though, as the crowd builds out. Three-quarter full already. It's an impressive early crowd as well for the afternoon game. South East Stars continuing their outstanding start to the season. 4 wins in 5 and a no result, unbeaten. We'll be hearing from Emma Calvert later on in the piece, who is the, if you like, the supremo of women's cricket here at Kier Oval, and she'll be joining us on the comms. 11 for 2, third over, Overton to continue. A bit of movement as well, you can see that.
Yeah, it's the first time we've really seen significant movement through the air. Still fascinated that Overton doesn't have a slip-in, because as captain he gave Meredith 2 throughout Meredith's first over.
Yeah, it's a good point, because he didn't have one in the first over at all, and yet he is getting some away duck here. Cramped again for room. Jason Roy's feet have not quite got going yet. Have a leg by, he does not look happy, does he?
Painful time to be a Surrey batter. That's the third time a Surrey batter has been struck in the last 6 balls. As we just see on screen, the speeds that Riley Meredith was reaching in his first over, upwards of 89 miles per hour. That is serious, serious pace.
$6,000 were in earlier for South East Stars game. 14,000 already through the gates here for the evening session. This is a thriving place, real carnival of cricket. We saw superb numbers for the 4-day stuff as well earlier in the piece. Advancing this time, but again, nothing doing. They're bowling very tightly here and cannily. This is a well-oiled machine, yes.
Yeah. Craig Overton knows exactly what he's doing, bowling quite a straight stump-to-stump line, and really using that man at short mid-wicket to stop any sort of quick singles, making it really difficult for the Surrey pair to even rotate strike.
Into the gap this time. Nicely timed by Ollie Pope, just a push. Oh, and he's palmed it back over for 4. The shot deserved it. The crowd have enjoyed that one.
Oh, you can't help but laugh to that. Brilliant piece of work by the fielder pursuing the ball, and then he just ricochets off his mate.
Yeah, it's Tom Curran in the covers. He's done superbly well. He's run the best part of 70 yards to pull it in.
It's a really, really good chase, because that
in fact, it's Tom Abel, apologies. It's Tom Abel who made the chase.
But a welcome boundary for Surrey. I was just about to say that, you know, if Somerset keep it tight, it's the end of Craig Overton's second over. Surrey now 17 for 2.
So yeah, email us, surreybroadcast@gmail.com. Get your thoughts and queries into us, and we'll do our best to work through them over the course of the evening. Shout out to Graham K. Taylor, who's written in. He was supposed to be bringing his son Jacob to watch the Blast tonight, but after a bit too much sunshine and exertion, playing the Berkshire Super Ones Festival today at Holyport CC with his Valley End Rascals disability team. What a name that is. The Valley End Rascals. They've decided better of it, so they'll be watching on the stream rather than in person. Great to hear from you. Thanks ever so much, Graham. More of that, please, folks. There's a great convivial atmosphere out there. It's a beautiful place to be on a Sunday evening. Do stay with us over the course of the evening. This should be an absolute humdinger. He's played that very well as Ollie Pope. He stayed relatively leg side of it, just to give himself space, just to free up those arms. He comes back for a third. He'll have to scamper, but he's in comfortably enough. Yeah, it's good anticipatory batting by Pope. I think he's sensing it's generally going to be short of a length on a pitch with a bit of spice.
And interestingly, Somerset really left the gap open from there. There was no one at square leg, so yeah, Somerset leaving gaps in the field, even now to Jason Roy. Slight field change, but there is no one between mid-on and deep square leg, so huge space for Roy to target the leg side.
Yes, a packed offside field, as Yaz alludes to. And they're very tight in there as well, so no singles available.
And I guess with a bowler of Meredith's pace, it's potentially easy to have a man in the ring at short fine leg, because it's quite difficult to ramp a man who's bowling 89 miles per hour.
The sign of his pace as well, a very fine deep third as well, almost on second slip line. Over the keeper, and one bounce for. Not convincing by Jason Roy, but he'll take it considering his tribulations up until now. First boundary for Jason Roy.
Yeah, a welcome boundary. Sorry, just getting that scoreboard ticking along. Quiet for the 6 or 7 balls after the Dan Lawrence wicket, but we saw a boundary from Ollie Pope at the end of the previous over, and another one, albeit not totally convincing, from Jason Roy. He moves to 5. It's his first boundary of the day.
So boundary apiece for these two not-out batters. Will that just be the sign for Jason Roy to relax those shoulders a little, get into his work? It's been a torrid half a dozen deliveries for him up until now. Short, convincing this time. That's vintage Jason Roy. Flat and hard, straight through mid-wicket, 4 more.
Yeah, he's absolutely murdered that one. Much more authoritative from Roy, sort of pressing forward, showing that he's on the front foot. He's faced this type of bowling before. He's not going to be fazed by it. Timely reminder of his quality. Brilliant shot, 4 runs.
Yeah, it's a statement shot by Jason Roy, who's been peppered up until now. He's not going to be bullied much longer. So suddenly, just the momentum shifting in this over. A couple of back-to-back boundaries. Meredith, 2 deliveries left. High. And gone. Doesn't have to move a muscle yet again. High on the bat, near the splice. And Jason Roy, after that brief flurry, has been downed by Riley Meredith, who is irresistible out there tonight.
Really interesting battle between Meredith and Roy. Previous ball, Roy hammered Meredith through the leg side with a pull shot. Meredith, not deterred, goes short again, and this time he gets his man. Really, really interesting battle between 2 high-quality cricketers, and the Australian has prevailed on this occasion.
Yeah, Jason Roy has to go. That is going to hurt. He's got a couple of bruises as well to show for his night's work. So, inside the power play, with of course just 2 men allowed outside the circle and 3 boundary catches inside the first 4 overs, speaks of an approach here by Surrey that is far from ideal, but it does bring to the crease Jamie Smith, the boy who can do no wrong so far this season, off the back of a career best 76 from just 39 deliveries against Glamorgan at Sophia Gardens just a couple of days ago, and here he is, got to start afresh here. And Surrey, as they were actually at Sophia Gardens, just under the pump somewhat. Makes space straight away, first delivery, and that will run away for 4, not where he intended, but he'll take it. That is the sign of a boy in complete serene control of himself.
He didn't have control over that one. 89.8 miles per hour from Meredith, who clocked at 90.4 miles per hour at one point in that over. I think Smith thought that Meredith was going to bump him again, so he gave himself room, but Meredith slips in a very fast, very accurate Yorker that Smith was quite fortunate to get a bat on, because if he didn't get a bat on it, Surrey would have been 28 for 4. I was just going to ask, how does Surrey play it from here?
Got to run hard. Oh, he was out with a direct hit, wasn't even in the frame. What is happening here?
That's the second time Ollie Pope has just blocked one to a very tight ring fielder and just run straight away. And I think the first one was definitely out of the hit. This one, I know, Phil, you called it straight away.
He's not in the frame yet. He's not in the frame.
It's very, very risky cricket just to get 1 run. I was going to ask, how does Surrey play it from here? Because they've got quite an interesting batting lineup in that they bat very, very deep with Cam Steele carded coming at 9.
Oh, beating him outside off peg, good stuff by Craig Overton, who's been bang on the money all day into his 3rd over here. Jamie Smith on his heels, not in the frame, not even bothering to ground his bat. He'd have just kept on running. He has to fight another day.
I appreciate that Jamie Smith was on his heels, but there is not a run on there. Extremely risky call from the Surrey captain. Yeah. And how do you think Surrey should play it? Because whilst they do back down deep, Cam Steele at 9, Gus Atkinson at 10, you've got Smith is the last specialist batter. After Smith you have the all-rounders, the 4 rounders, Curran, Clark, Abbott and Steele.
Superb stuff again by Craig Overton, who recognises that this is necessarily a quiet moment, albeit perhaps just for an over or 2 as Surrey catch a breath, and is hitting that hard length time after time, goading these Surrey players really. Because you're right, do you twist or do you stick? I mean, it's Surrey's instincts to twist, of course. I was there to hit, and be frustrated with himself to get nothing on there, and so another dot just to finish off. 5 gone, 33 for 3. Somerset been outstanding. In fact, 1 delivery left of the 5th over.
But only 1 run from it so far. Next question. Do you keep Meredith on? Do you go in for the kill?
Must be sorely tempting. He's found the gap this time. That does go all the way, in fact. Just limps over the boundary rope, but that does go all the way. And Jamie Smith is into his work, carrying on where he left off in Cardiff. 8 sixes that night. The first maximum of this evening's fun and games. Again, didn't get all of it. And Deep Square was interested for a time.
Yeah, really rescues that over, so he's 1 run from it before the final ball got hit for 6.
Yeah, so with 1 over to go before the end of the power play, they are going to hold your boy Meredith back, Yaz, which probably makes sense. As the enforcer, you can bring him back in the death overs or even in the middle overs if things are going slightly awry. It's going to be Jake Ball replacing him. Hope you pick up a single into the onside, and there's definitely a run there. So I think Smith's shot from the final ball of the previous over answers your question. They're going to keep going. And I guess on a good pitch against a fine team, Somerset themselves back deep, it makes sense. Can't take a backward step. And this is modern day T20 cricket as well, of course. Beautifully played, well fielded though at mid-off by Overton. Stops a certain boundary, beautifully timed, just pushed with minimal effort.
It is good pitch, and we've seen the pace of Meredith in particular really getting serious carry through to the keeper. But at the same time, we're 5.2 overs in, and maybe only once or twice has a Surrey batter really nailed an aerial shot. As you say, 3 men out caught in the deep. Don't often see that in the power play. And despite that intent, the run rate is only 7.64 per over, so not exactly a lightning start from Surrey, and they're 3 wickets down.
Big swing and a miss by Jamie Smith. His intentions are pretty clear now. Nothing doing though. All started tidily enough here. Just very quickly, John Goff Cooper watching the Surrey live stream. Lovely to have you with us tonight, John. We hear it's your 62nd birthday tomorrow, so happy 62nd, John, from all of us here on the show. A huge Surrey cricket fan, apparently. Good man, John. Have a beautiful day tomorrow. Slower ball this time, well seen by Jamie Smith, and that will run away for 4. Beautifully played. Just let the ball come on, didn't overhit it, didn't go looking for it.
The T20 stats men will say that the 6th over is one of the most difficult overs to bowl, the final over of the power play. Jake Ball started it so well, 1 run off the first 3 balls in the over, and I think he would argue that that slow ball has deceived Jamie Smith a little bit, but Smith just stable to get the ball past the man and short fine leg.
Leg side, and will run away for perhaps a boundary. I'm saying Yaz is calling it from the box, and the fielders have given up the ghost. And so, the end of the power play. Surrey have got through to 50 for 3.
Yeah. Really handy last couple of deliveries in the power play, getting it up to 50 for 3. Still though, Surrey having lost 3 early wickets, right up against it early on. Something I hadn't noticed, something that I hadn't noticed, that all 3 catches taken by Tom Lamberby.
There you go, brilliant fielder. Leading edge by Ollie Pope, who picked up a single, and wisely, considering his earlier work, declining that second. So Overton is going to bowl himself out here. We're into the second phase of this game. Makes sense. 3 overs for 19 coming into this, his 4th and final. He's been excellent up until now. Again, imperious by Jamie Smith. Of course, he's a man down at long on.
Yeah, very interesting field for James Smith. Everyone is out on the leg side, so gets any sort of bat on it and directs it towards the leg side. There is 1, maybe even 2, just for dropping it in the gap. Long on comes in to mid on for Ollie Pope. Smith, by the way, has raced away, 20 off 11 balls already. Pope's playing a lot of tip and run at the moment, isn't he?
He's trying to find his way into this innings. Indeed, into his season as well, up until now.
It's a stop-start white ball career for Pope because he's played so much Test cricket for England at a young age, but you forget that actually he made a name for himself at Surrey first and foremost, breaking his way into the Surrey white ball setup as a teenager.
Leg side-ish, punched into the gap. Almost timed too well to come back for a second. Seeing it like a beach ball out there.
I've memories of Pope. He must have only been 18 or 19 when he first broke into the Surrey team, wooing everyone with his ramps, which he of course did in Hyderabad in a very different setting earlier this year.
Masterpiece of a knock that was. Down the track this time. But happy enough at the minute just to throw the strike back to the golden boy Jamie Smith, the new golden boy. Shout out to Bella and Paul Hayes, Somerset fans tuning in to support their side. Come one, come all, folks. Bella and Paul would have enjoyed the last 12 months or so watching this outstanding T20 team and seeing more evidence of it tonight. Jamie Smith. That is a naughty shot. It's 12, 15 rows back and it's effortless. Final delivery of Craig Overton's spell. And he'll be frustrated to have dragged one down, but Jamie Smith is waiting for it and he's in the form of his life.
Yeah, that's some shot from Jamie Smith, who has not been deterred by the loss of 3 early wickets. So he's come out all guns blazing. He's raced to 27 off just 13 deliveries.
First
is already.
Sorry, as first crowd drop of the summer. We're definitely away here for the Vitality Blast 2024. I'm going to take just a few minutes off, and it's going to be Emma Calvert, head honcho of all things women's cricket here at the Kia Oval, joining Yaz Rana for the next few.
Change in pace. Jake Ball's entry only lasted 1 over. He's replaced by Rolf van der Merwe, who'll bowl to Ollie Pope. Surrey 61 for 3. Evening, Emma.
Hello.
This must be quite a busy time for you.
It's been a bit hectic, yeah, a little bit hectic.
Talk us through the last month or so, I guess, since Surrey got the Tier 1 status for 2025. What was your job look like over the last? What are the priorities?
Yeah, so obviously it was announced back in April that from next season Surrey would have a professional women's team. So it's kind of it's action stations really. So getting everything organised for that to start on the 1st of November. First step, player contracting really.
Rana Merwe continues. So how does it work in terms of recruitment for 2025? Is the Surrey squad likely to reflect quite closely what the South East Stars currently look like, or does the recruit is it a free-for-all? Can Surrey recruit from all over the land?
Yeah, it is a free-for-all, but we want to keep our squad together. We've got an incredible bunch of girls with a lot of talent.
Smith goes aerial again. 6 again. Third 6 of the evening already for Jamie Smith. He's been at the crease for just 15 balls. 3 of them have gone for 6. Somerset were on top early on, 28 for 3, but Jamie Smith has come out all guns blazing, and it's a proper counter-attack from the Surrey number 5.
He's in incredible form, isn't he?
He goes again, and 6 again. Took on the man at long off, and it goes straight over his head. And now that's 4 6s already from Jamie Smith.
Great attempt in the crowd there. Put it down again, though.
He is in some form this summer. He's been so watchable across formats.
Yeah, it's been incredible to see. Definitely knocking on those England doors.
Yeah. Do you think we'll see it in red ball cricket this summer?
I think so, yeah.
Fuller this time from Van der Merwe, and Smith flicks it into the leg side for a single. So we're going to head to Sam Keir at the Kia best seats in the house in between overs.
Well, I'm back in the Kia best seat in the house, but we had a change of personnel. Now this is a face you may recognise. This is Ryan Libby, who is a UK ambassador for Kia, and Ryan has brought his whole family down. Say hello, family.
Hello.
What are you making of the match so far?
It's really exciting. It's amazing. The atmosphere is incredible. Sunshine has come out, which is obviously a rare thing for us at the moment in London, so I feel like it's all come good. Really excited to have my family. We don't actually get to do something like this very often, so I'm very happy with this setup, mate.
And amazing to see all of you repping the Surrey replica shirt.
Our 2 bros actually live in Surrey as well, so this is very close to home for them.
And this is Adam, your brother, right? Adam, you're the big cricket expert, I'm told.
Yeah.
Give us your expert analysis on the match so far.
Oh, so far just a bit slow start, but it'll open up a bit now, I think.
They bat deep, don't they?
Bat deep, yeah, big time.
There you go. You couldn't have said it better yourself, right, Ryan?
No. But to be fair, he doesn't. He is like the sporting knowledge of the family, so he's my go-to in all regards.
But you obviously are someone who who knows a lot about staying fit and being active. The stuff you're seeing out here in terms of the power.
It's actually incredible. Yeah. That's the first thing we noticed when we came in. Just the way they were warming up with footballs. I was like, are these cricketers or footballers? Because their skill set is incredible. Yeah, it's nuts. And the speed at which they send this ball, not just the bowlers but the fielders, it's actually a spectacle. When you're this close to them pitch side, it's a different experience. I've only been here once before last year, but this is quite different.
And I saw you all getting very excited about the couple of opportunities we had for the Kia catch.
I know.
They went down, though.
I didn't even know about this Kia catch until about 5 minutes ago, so I'm just eagerly awaiting. What do you call a shot this way? Cover drive or something?
Or
I don't know.
Sweep.
Yeah, sweep. I'm waiting for that sweep.
Well, hopefully you've all got your hands ready. If they're not too full of pizza and drinks, this is a pretty... These guys, yeah, this is a pretty great place to watch cricket from, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing. I keep looking up there because apparently I got to do the high catch challenge in a minute. So
yes, of course, we've got that to look forward to.
Myself, yeah. Give me some tips. What's your tips?
Put your hands above your eyes. Okay, watch the ball all the way in.
So not into the bread basket.
No, exactly. Okay. And then you'll be fine. But we're looking forward to that. We'll be out there in the middle, seeing if you can. There's no prizes tonight though, because you're sort of you're our guinea pig for the rest of the season.
Okay, fair, that's fair. I was actually in it for the prize, but okay, I'll do it just for you, Sam.
Well, we'll see if we can get you some autographs on your shirt or something like that.
Great, actually. Yeah, look, I've got lots of open space here. Let's do it.
Well, we'll hear a bit more from Ryan later, and of course during the interval here in the ground. But for the meantime, thank you very much to all the Libbies for joining us here at the Kia over tonight. Thank you, Libby.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Sorry.
Ryan was in the commentary box earlier on today, and I think he's got the look of a guy who could also be an Australian overseas player for the Blast.
Yeah, give him a go.
Ben Green finishes his first over into the attack. A relatively quiet over, just 8 from it. Surrey now 84 for 3 after 9 overs. And yeah, just to reiterate what Sam and Ryan were saying, if someone cleanly catches a 6 in the crowd, they get £1,000 from our partners here. Smith and Pope also brought up their 50-run stand in the previous over. You see in that split, Ollie Pope's been very happy to just give the strike to his mate Jamie Smith. Smith, 44 of the 57 runs scored between the pair at the moment. Van der Merwe will continue. Bit of width and Smith will take one. So how will the structure work next year? At the moment we've got the Charlotte Edwards Cup and Rachel Hayo Flint Trophy. Do we know what the formats will look like in 2025?
Yeah, same 2 competitions, so a T20 comp and a 50 over comp. What they'll be called yet, we don't quite know. We might align and become the T20 Women's Blast as well, but same 2 competitions.
It's the 3rd major restructure of the women's game in quite a short period of time. Talk us through why this one is happening now.
Yeah, so obviously we've seen women's cricket grow phenomenally over the last few years. The 100 has had a huge impact on that. The regional structure has worked really well in terms of pooling talent. But now we need to look at a model where we can get the commercial elements behind it too, build our fan bases, grow the recreational game and all those things, and being in-house at a big club like Surrey will make a massive difference for that.
Brutal again from Jamie Smith. Whacks a straight full toss for 4. He was on the 48 off just 21 deliveries. He goes again. And it's 6.
He's made that look so easy.
The 22-ball half-century from Jamie Smith. Extraordinary hitting. 5 sixes already. Remember, folks, in the previous game against Glamorgan, he hit 8 sixes in a 38-ball innings. So Jamie Smith, in the form of his life, brings up his 9th career T20 half-century, and he's changing this game. Surrey were 28 for 3 in the 4th over when Jason Roy fell off the bowling of Riley Meredith. But ever since then, it's been the Jamie Smith show. It's a really clever partnership here between the Surrey's number 4 and 5. Pope just giving the strike to his mate, who's making the most of it at the other end.
Yeah, it's nice for Ollie, I guess, to have a bit of breathing room and let Jamie do his stuff, get himself into the game.
Yeah, I feel like T20 cricket, more so than the other formats, if you're not in form, it must be so difficult to get that form back, because there isn't time, there's always pressure. You know, getting yourself into 2 balls.
Especially the way this game started, he didn't really have that luxury, but I think it's worked quite well for him.
Another change in the bowling. I think we'll see lots of 1-over spells from Somerset from here on in. Sorry, 98 for 3 at the halfway point in the innings. Jake Ball returning to the attack for his 2nd over, replacing Ben Green. Just one man in the ring on the leg side. Craig over to the mid-on. And it's not just the change in structure, it will expand the player pool in professional women's cricket as well, with eventually 9 and then 10 Tier 1 counties. Do you think the timing is right for that expansion, the talent is there?
Yeah, right now obviously it depends on the region, but around 10 professional contracts. We'll move from 1st of November to 15, which is a great first step, and then I think bringing those teams online at different stages will just help. The next girls are very young still, so I think getting the timing right is important.
And Emma will be with us, not just in this innings, but in the 2nd as well. So if you've got any questions for Emma, send them in to surreybroadcast@gmail.com. And that's the 100 up for Surrey. They get there just after the halfway mark in the innings. They've recovered so well from those 3 early losses. just falls short of the man at mid-off. Weather's not been great recently. This is some evening.
It's absolutely beautiful here today, yeah.
Really good crowding for the Stars game early in the day as well.
Yeah, we had 5,000 at the halfway point, which was incredible.
The increase in attendance in the women's game has been incredible, because not that long ago England basically never played at the bigger ground, so 5,000 would be almost a standard crowd for an England game.
Yeah, no, we were 2,500 for our doubleheader last year, so we've doubled that. And I think just seeing how the women's T20 sales have gone here, we beat what we were on game day months in advance, and that's obviously not for an Ashes series, it's against New Zealand. So yeah, the growth in the game, people wanting to come and watch women's cricket, which is fantastic.
It's been a good over this from Ball, just 5 runs off the first 5 deliveries. Somerset have really struggled to keep a lid on the Surrey scoring rate in the last half an hour or so. Slight delay in play, as I think Jamie Smith is asking for a new bat. Why do you ask for a new bat when you just...
I think he's broken the end of it.
Now it's done. Here we see some of the most eye-catching shots from that Jamie Smith half-century. Particularly brutal against spin of Rolo van der Merwe. And a common trait in this half-century, and the one he scored against Glamorgan, is Smith is very keen to rock back onto the back foot and pull spinners straight aerially. Quite a few of his 6s against Glamorgan were in that manner, and 2 of those again here today against Somerset. Back with his new bat. Oh, brilliantly played by Jamie Smith. We saw the power of him in the previous over against Rolo van der Merwe, but here we see his intelligence, his touch, slightly wider from Ball, who previously, up until that point, bowled a really good over, just 5 runs from it. Slightly wider, and Smith guides it to the 3rd man, boundary, to move on to 62. I'm going to take a break, and Phil Walker is going to fill in for me.
Thanks, Yaz. 107 for 3 then. 9 overs to go in this innings, and it's been a decent recovery here by Surrey's middle order after losing those 3 up top. And this game is delicately poised now. Ollie Pope, 28 from 24. He's been the junior partner in this one. He's trying to get funky now, and that will just be hauled in by Rolo van der Merwe down there. Very fine at deep third. Excellent piece of work, so I kept it down just to a couple. Evening, Emma.
Evening. How are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. This is a beautiful place to be on a Sunday evening. It's been a good day as well. I got here for the start of the afternoon game. Come to that in a moment. Got a couple of questions for you.
Perfect.
Goes again this time, just beats the keeper. It's well played by Ollie Pope. Picks up another boundary. That flew fast past Tom Banton, who felt like he was in the game for a split second. But Pope just got enough of it.
Yeah, his confidence is increasing as this game goes on, for sure.
Yeah, Pope just growing into his innings here, and this is doing the world of good. It's been a slowish start to his summer so far. This is exactly what he needs. Rode his luck initially with a couple of dicey runs. 34 from 26 now. Jamie Smith 62 from 27. The boy can do no wrong. Riley Meredith then 6 6 runs given up for his first couple of deliveries. What's he got? So just briefly, going around the grounds, also in the South Group down at Chelmsford, Middlesex put up 203 for 7 against Essex, but Essex have knocked it off quite comfortably in the end with 14 balls remaining. Michael Pepper making a 44-ball 100. So Essex are on the board after a couple of defeats. And earlier in the afternoon, Hampshire beat Kent in a tight one by just 3 wickets with 1 ball remaining. Also, of course, in the South Group. And Glamorgan and Sussex. Glamorgan won by 25 earlier. Cloth down to long on, but safe enough for Jamie Smith. Moves on to 63. Yeah, one question I have for you.
Yeah.
Danny Gregory.
Yeah.
How good was she today?
She was so good, yeah. With 4 overs, 3 wickets for 23.
Yeah.
Very impressive. She also, when we were playing up at Durham on Friday, she changed the game with a maiden over after a very impressive power play from the Diamonds.
Playing a miss this time. Didn't quite get up as Ollie Pope was perhaps expecting. Yeah, I saw a bit of Danny Gregory last year. Seems like she's got a bit more energy in her action. Perhaps the pace was really there today, and you know, a leg break bowler at any standard, they need to find the right optimum pace for the pitch, and seems like she's really found that. I was really impressed with her today. I thought she was superb.
Yeah, she was incredible.
Even with giving himself a little bit of room, that is a wide in anybody's book. So Meredith had to bowl that one again. Just lost his way a tiny bit in this over. Bowled 2 very good overs up front. And Bryony Smith as well.
Yeah.
Saw that was announced this afternoon, so she's signed on for next year as skipper.
Yeah, first official Surrey women's professional signing. And what a signing.
Been a part of the furniture around here for a few years, of course. Slower ball bouncer into the pitch. Oh, another collision. They're okay, thankfully. But it does mean they're going to give up a couple of runs. That's frustrating. So a single turns into 3. Not the first time there's been a breakdown in communication out there in the bleachers from a couple of Somerset outfielders. Bit messy all round, Emma.
Yeah, put a name on that one.
Yeah, they've not been blemish-free, Somerset. So, yeah, as you can see on your screens, join Surrey Cricket's WhatsApp channel. So, get your phones out, folks. Scan that QR code. And you get the following: highlights, news alerts, and other great Surrey content. It's a new initiative by the club this year. It's already been taken up enthusiastically by a number of fans of the club, as you see there. Just scan that QR code, opens up a whole new world of possibilities for you. That's gone all the way. Effortless yet again. Jamie Smith is touched by gold this summer. He stays in the shot, doesn't he, Emma? Doesn't overhit it. Plays 80% power and keeps his shape and control beautifully.
Just looks so effortless.
He's in the prime form of his life here. 76 was his career best in this format against Glamorgan in the previous game. He's on course to threaten that. 69 from 29 deliveries. What a hand, considering he came in 3 down. Wide this time by Ben Green, doesn't get away with it. So Surrey having started so ignominiously, are now 127 for 3 in the 13th, going at 10s, and with plenty of batting to follow. That's in the gap as well. That beats extra cover, and that will run away for 4 more. He's unstoppable. So it brings up the 100 partnership between these two. Jamie Smith, 73 of them. Thank you very much. He's hit 14 sixes in his last maths time, 31 and 39. Last 70 balls, he's hit 14 sixes in this competition. What a player. He's having summer of his dreams here. So a couple of deliveries left of Ben Green's second over. He needs to get out of this over if he possibly can. Lowish full toss, clubbed over Craig Overton, 6 more. He's into the 80s. He's playing a different game out there. Jamie Smith is having the time of his life. Emma's going to depart to bring Yaz back in. We'll have more from her in the second half of the evening. Suddenly, Surrey are bossing this, 139 for 3. Yeah, he certainly is. What a player to have down there at number 5 as well.
Yeah, 111 runs between the two of them. James has hit 80 of 32 deliveries. Eight sixes against Glamorgan. 7 so far against Somerset.
So, Roloff van der Merwe, he bowled 2 overs for 30, so he's up against it. And he's played on, Ollie Pope. Little bottom edge onto off stump, he has to go. Somerset needed that.
Yeah, he's such a competitive Van der Merwe, and if there's one player you'd really back to rest the game back in your favour, it is Van der Merwe. Such a fiery character, never ever gives up, and that's a really, really big wicket, and he lets out that customary roar that he always does. And that's a really good knock from Ollie Pope. It's been a tough summer so far from him, and maybe on the scorecard 40 off 32 doesn't look particularly quick, but it's a game of partnerships, and he's played second fiddle to Jamie Smith brilliantly, giving the strike to Smith. He identified that Smith was in, I mean, he's identified all season, I'm sure, that Smith's in some nick.
Jordan Clark is the new man. Tom Curran was carded to come in at 6, but it's going to be Clark. It's a long ball, of course.
I feel like a lot's happened in 13.1 overs, Phil. 139 for 4. Almost forgot that Somerset had Surrey at 28 for 3 after 3.5 overs.
Yeah, well, when a player of Smith's talent in prime form takes the stage, then he has the ability to bend the game to his will. And that's what we've seen here. Surrey were crying out for somebody to step up. 28 for 3, the back end of the power play, and Smith has just been imperious, unstoppable.
And Clark's job will be to do exactly what Ollie Pope was doing. Knock it in the gaps, get Smith on strike.
It's tied down for the first couple here. Van der Merwe coming back into it here. Began this over with 30 to his name from 2. Now he's picked up a wicket and 3 dots. Meanwhile, with all due respect to Papua New Guinea fans, we can all breathe a sigh of relief. As the West Indies have won. Clark is away. The West Indies have inched home by 5 wickets in the end against Papua New Guinea on day 2 of the T20 World Cup. And at one point, they were in something of a pickle, so that is it's a good and necessary result, I would say, for the home team and for the health or otherwise of the tournament.
And also for all the pundits who are tipping them to go all the way.
Jamie Smith's cranky with himself because he can only pick up a single.
Really good over this from Van der Merwe. Just 2 runs off it so far, and the important wicket of Ollie Pope. There have been a couple of occasions already in this Surrey innings where Somerset have won the first 5 balls of the over and then conceded a boundary off the 6th.
Club straight to extra cover. He's got to make it, and does comfortably. That means that Jordan Clark retained the strike. 1 for 2 for 4 with half a dozen remaining. So it's a fascinatingly poised point in this innings, really. Meanwhile, coming up in 6 weeks or so, Saturday 13th of July, England versus New Zealand in the Vitality IT20 series here at the Kia, of course. Scan that QR code for all the information you need regarding tickets. There are still some available. It's going quick, and it's a sign of the times, really. Women's cricket across the country it's boom time for women's cricket in England at the moment. So get involved, come along, and get behind the side. Meanwhile, here in the here and now, 142 for 4. 6 remaining. Jake Ball's got a couple. Craig Overton bowled himself out earlier. Riley Meredith will have 1 more. Playing a miss. Just needs to get something on it here, Jordan Clark, and get James Smith back on strike.
Yeah, good little spell this for Somerset. They've not been able to stop the Smith show, really, for some time, and they've done so by just not giving him the strike, really. Jordan Clark is taking a little while to get going, 2 off 5 at the moment.
Not got much of it. I think it'll just drop between the 2.
Perfectly placed. I'm still not that sure what to make of the pitch, because Jamie Smith, 81 of 33, he's obviously doing okay. But the other end has not been easy for Surrey batters. It was a really good innings from Pope, but it was not a typically powerful or destructive T20 innings.
And Smith's shots have generally been in his arc. As you rightly say, he has this knack of being able to get underneath the slow bowlers and hit them straight off the back foot, which is an extraordinary skill in itself. But towed this time, and he will get away with it. Jordan Clark's going to try and come back for a second, and he will make his ground comfortably. So 2 more to Jamie Smith. Everything running his way.
I think you're right. When the ball's not been in the arc of Smith's swing, there haven't been many deliveries all game that have been well timed by batters who've gone to play an attacking aerial shot.
Reminds me of the game last year here against Hampshire. Yeah, got to bowl that one again.
You're seeing here that, I know that ball's wide, but 3 runs off the first 3 deliveries of the over. Ball having a little bit of success taking pace off the ball. And I often think in T20 cricket that one of the advantages of batting first is seeing the other side take some time to work out what works on that specific pitch.
Foolish in the slot, whacked. 4 more. What a player.
What a shot again. Quicker and fuller from Jake Ball. And Smith has drilled that past the stumps all the way to the boundary for 4. That shot brings up the Surrey 150. Brought up in the 15th over 14.4 overs gone. Eyeing up a score of north of 200 here. And I think another thing about Smith is I think he's very clever in what areas of the ground he targets at a particular time. So in that Glamorgan game, very, very short straight boundaries. And here, the boundary that he was targeting against Van der Merwe was straight and on the offside to sort of long off-ish, which is probably the shortest boundary we've got here.
It's well bowled by Jake Ball. He's gambling, and it's paid off for those last couple of deliveries. OK, so 15 gone, 150 for 4.
Look at the speed gun there. 4 off-pace deliveries in that over from Jake Ball. It was a decent over, and the one boundary he did concede was one of the 3 pace-on deliveries.
Yeah, just going back briefly to the Hampshire game from last year, which I think may have been Surrey's first game in the tournament at home. And John Turner, who's a tall, fast bowler, explored the middle of the pitch, and Surrey's top order went the same way then as they did today. That's it high, long on, is coming round, and he's not going to make it, so it drops just at his feet. Jordan Clark through for 2 more.
And I think that the Surrey top order today demonstrated it's very hard to clear the square boundaries here at the Kia Oval, because they are enormous. 3 wickets falling early, all caught in the deep, all caught by Tom Lambie.
This should be taken. Steadies himself, and a 3rd catch for deep square leg. Jordan Clark has to go.
Yeah, didn't really get going, Jordan Clark. We thought he might try to replicate the role that Ollie Pope was playing in just trying to get off strike and give the strike back to Jamie Smith, but he looked to be aggressive. It didn't quite work, eventually falling for 5 off 8 deliveries.
Tom Curran is the new man, and he's in sparkling form himself. Irresistible in the first game against Hampshire, steering Surrey to victory in that one.
Yeah, really got them out of the hole in the Hampshire game. Curran is almost a batting all-rounder now in T20 cricket. His batting has come on so much in the last couple of years. Last year, in the English summer across the blast and the 100, he averaged 29 at a strike rate of 156. 250s in there as well.
Well, they see him as a finisher, and so they hold him back for the last 20, 30 balls, knowing that he has the nous as well as the skill and the power to get around a run chase or a target to set.
Yeah, I can imagine he's a nightmare to bowl to, because as you touch on, he's a very intelligent cricketer, sort of batter who accesses awkward parts of the ground. And adapts his game accordingly.
Bowled in. So that first 100 will not happen today for Jamie Smith, but what an innings, 87 from 38 deliveries. The crowd will rise as one, because this has been a special performance by a special player.
Yeah, Smith walks off to a standing ovation. Pat on the shoulder from the new man at the crease, Sean Abbott. And as we look again, really good, accurate Yorker from Ben Green that cannons off the boot of Jamie Smith onto the stumps. Seriously important over this from Ben Green. 2 wickets already. And Surrey now 6 down with still 4.2 overs of the innings remaining. This innings could go either way, Phil.
Yeah, indeed. 10 minutes ago, it looked like Surrey were bossing it and looking at something like 210, 220. Sean Abbott joins Tom Curran, so the bowling all-rounders together of a piece. They're going to keep going but they're going to have to be slightly mindful of getting too carried away with only 4 wickets in hand. They do bat all the way down. Look at that, nicked in.
Oh.
Extra bounce by Ben Green. Thank you very much. 2 in the over.
3 in the over.
3 in the over. Tom Curran, the 3rd man to go. Ben Green has changed this innings in the matter of half a dozen deliveries here.
Well, wickets have really fallen in clusters in this innings. You got 3 early wickets with a new ball, and now 3 wickets in and over from Ben Green. Ben Green was arguably the star of Somerset's record-breaking title win last year. 30 wickets, bowling difficult overs. And when you're home ground at Taunton, if a bowler is doing well when they're playing their home cricket at Taunton in limited overs cricket, they're doing a seriously good job. And there he's completely changed the course of this innings. Surrey, suddenly, from having been 152 for 4 a couple of minutes ago, and now 154 for 7, and they bat really deep. Cam Steele is a very capable batter coming in at number 9, and they've still got Gus Atkinson who can whack it to come at number 10. So there's batting still there for Surrey. And you're seeing Somerset have a lot of success taking pace off the ball as Meredith comes in to bowl his 4th and final over.
I feel this is a key over in the context of what Surrey can manufacture here, because Riley Meredith is their star man. He was brilliant up top. He has just 5 deliveries left of his spell. We're going for the kill here. Pushed hard to mid-on. Comfortable single. Craig Overton is relatively deep there. Yeah, it's been an intriguing innings, really, when you look at the bald stats, the running through this scorecard. Dan Lawrence 3, Laurie Evans 4, Jason Roy 9, Ollie Pope 40, Jamie Smith 87 from 38, and then Clark 5, Curran 1. Binary scores. Been for pace. This is good by the visitors. Hung in there, and they are now beginning just to twist this innings back in their favour.
We've watched a lot of cricket here this summer already, Phil. Meredith, the quickest bowler we've seen in a domestic game here at the Keir Oval.
Yeah, he's certainly up there. I can't think of anyone who's exceeded it. Well bowled and well played, actually, by Cam Steele, who's off the mark. I would say Gus Atkinson bowled a couple of spells with the older ball against Somerset, actually, when he was particularly sharp, and he changed the tempo of that innings after Somerset got off to such a good start. But yeah, certainly Meredith is right up there, and it's consistent pace as well.
Yeah.
Foolish again, bowled in, off stump, out the ground, on your way. Brilliant stuff by Riley Meredith. He's been a star today, Freefer.
Pace off that time from Meredith. As we so often see with the really, really fast bowlers, their slow balls can be particularly devastating. Such is the difference between the pace on and pace off deliveries. This Surrey innings, having been rebuilt by Jamie Smith and Ollie Pope, in danger of collapsing once more. They lose a 4th wicket in the space of 10 deliveries, 4 wickets and 10 balls, and now they're 8 down with still 3.1 overs to go. And Gus Atkinson is a more than capable late order hitter.
But it's not where they were expecting to be, especially not when Jamie Smith and Ollie Pope were ensconced. Foolish, well played.
That ends an outstanding spell of bowling from Riley Meredith. 4 overs, 3 for 34, following up an outstanding performance on Somerset debut against Essex in the season opener. He's one of those bowlers whose international career has stalled because of the big 3, Stark, Cummins and Hazelwood, play everything across formats, and then Meredith now 27. He's only played 6 games of international cricket. Injury has played a factor
in that lack of international cricket as well. But you're watching a guy bowl high 80s miles per hour. If he was English, he would have a multi-year central contract at the very least.
Well, Gus Atkinson is very much in that bracket. He's got a job to do with the bat here. Again, pace off the ball. Ben Green is the master at that. He's got a bag of tricks. And it played out beautifully for him in this tournament last year. He's changed the tempo of this innings again here. 3 wickets in that previous over. Stalled Surrey's progress. Just going back to that previous over, Sean Abbott won't want to look at that shot again because he's been duped a little. And he's a long way away from the delivery in the end. Gave himself room. Meredith held the line, and he was a good bat width away from it. Picks him out. Another catch for deep square. Now Gus Atkinson's got to go. 9 down. 4 catches to deep square leg. Sean Dixon it is this time. This rather sums up Surrey's innings. Jamie Smith accepted. They have rather handed the initiative over to Somerset from some rather injudicious shots at times. Another outfield catch. And suddenly, with still 3 overs remaining, we have number 11 with us.
It's a stunning collapse. It's 5 for 5 in the space of 2.1 overs. It's been really good cricket from Somerset. They've worked out that if you take the pace off, very, very hard to score aerially.
We have a left-hander with us, the first of the day. Spencer Johnson, who stay with us for Somerset's reply here, because Spencer Johnson is rapid. A very, very fine cricketer. And a good coup for Surrey to get him in. Well, they need some runs from him here, because 15 balls is a lot in a T20 game, and that's what Surrey's final pair have to try and chisel out. He's gone up for it. Umpire not interested, pitched outside.
Yeah. If you're analysing the Surrey innings, Phil, you take some of the dismissals look quite soft. You say 4 catches to the guy at deep square leg.
Yeah, it's been the story. So Surrey will take, they will have to take that from here on in, really. A runner ball at least gets them up to 170. Just looking at this LB from earlier. Pitched outside quite comfortably. So yeah, runner ball gets to 171.
Ooh. Just fall short of the diving Green. That's the end of Ben Green's spell. 4 overs for 32. One hell of a spell from the Somerset all-rounder. One of the stars of their campaign last year. 30 wickets at 16 in their victorious run in 2023. 4 wickets today. It's an interesting season that he's got a peculiarly short run-up. Doesn't bowl at great pace. But he's clearly a very canny bowler, not just with his change of pace, but change of length as well. A good adapter.
So it's going to be Jake Ball round the wicket to the left-hander. 2 to go. Somerset be feeling pretty good about things as it stands. Just remember, folks, surreybroadcast@gmail.com. Get your emails in. We'll go through those at half-time. Leg side, disappointing by Jake Ball. Got to get himself loose. This is a key part of Somerset's innings here. They have to just hold this together. They've been superb in the latter part. He's run. It's a... Oh, and he's missed. He had all three to aim for. I mean, it's a wild run, but I can understand desperate times. Cameron Steele feeling like he's the senior batter. He needs to be on strike for every possible available delivery left of this innings, this stop-start innings.
Somerset have done an amazing job. It's not just the wickets, the runs are totally stopped from a Surrey point of view. 10 minutes ago we were talking about 210, 220. Surrey here do well to get to 165.
And again, a pattern emerging here, and this class by Jake Ball, running his fingers across the ball and just gripping it into the pitch alongside that channel, just inside the tram line, so no threat of a wide. And it's been his go-to approach. You just wonder, does Cameron Steele give himself a chance, try and scoop one over the man on the 45? Nothing doing with that one, right in the block hole. And we can only squeeze it out for a single. Van der Merwe doing the work. Doing this very well.
There might be people at home wondering why sometimes slow balls don't really work in a game of cricket. Sometimes they do. Sometimes on pitches they really sit up and become almost easier to hit. But today there's been almost a popping quality to them. The bounce has surprised batters. They found it particularly difficult to time.
He's gone up for it, but that will be drifting down the leg side. And in fact, they're going to pick up a leg by. So Surrey will take that. Getting Cameron Steele back on strike. Do stay with us at half-time, because Yaz will be talking to John Surtees about his latest podcast with the great Tom Holland. We'll come to that later on. Slapped into the covers, but just for a single. Yeah, John and Tom, an unlikely couple, but they're doing some great work, recounting the history and the stories of this great ground and its surrounding areas. John will be talking to Yaz at the break about the genesis of that podcast and where it's going to go from here. Strap yourselves in, folks. Also going to have highlights as well, of course, of what we've seen up until now. There's plenty of them, by the way, so do hang around. Bowled him. Leg stump clipped, and that is the end, suddenly, just like that. 163 all out. An eccentric innings, Yaz Rana.
I can't remember a T20 innings like it. Somerset totally on top early on, picking up 3 new ball wickets, Evans, Lawrence and Roy falling cheaply. Then we saw that extraordinary innings from Jamie Smith, who almost single-handedly got Surrey up to a total. He was ably supported by the skipper, Ollie Pope. And at 152 for 4, you're genuinely eyeing up a score north of 200. But Somerset have rolled through the Surrey lower middle order, and suddenly Surrey 163 all out, and Somerset only need 164 to go 2 from 2.
Yeah, extraordinary innings, really. Kind of lopsided and uneven innings, but will nonetheless still be remembered for a masterpiece by Jamie Smith and some brilliant, insistent seam bowling from Somerset's right armers. Quickly running through the scorecard, Dan Lawrence caught Lammonby, first of 3 catches for Tom Lammonby. He's a brilliant outfielder. From Riley Meredith for just 3. Laurie Evans went, in fact, before Dan Lawrence in the very first over, caught a deep third by Lammonby off Craig Overton for 4. Jason Roy was battered and bruised across his 8 deliveries. He went for 9 in the end. Ollie Pope came in, ran 1 or 2 kamikaze singles, but survived to get up to 40 from 32. And when he was going alongside Jamie Smith, they put on 111 together. All seemed well for Surrey, but with the dismissal of Ollie Pope came the collapse. Jamie Smith eventually went for 87, bowled slightly fortuitously, really, for Ben Green off the boot of Jamie Smith, and he went for 87, another career best for him, 2 in 3 days now for him. 87 from 38, 7 fours, 7 sixes, and then after that it was binary scores from there on in. Jordan Clark 5, Tom Curran 2, Sean Abbott also fell just for a couple, Cameron Steele was not out 3, Gus Atkinson went for a single, and Spencer Johnson cleaned up at the end for just 2.
And go through the Somerset bowling figures. I think all five Somerset bowlers all did really, really good jobs. Bit of context, there's no Lewis Gregory for this game. Somerset ordinarily both a 6-man attack. Tom Lambie, although a capable seamer, not used today, hasn't done a lot of bowling, so these guys really had to be on the money today for their side. Overton and Meredith outstanding with the new ball. Meredith picking up 2 new ball wickets, bowling with real pace. Jake Ball and Ben Green taking 4 wickets. Brilliantly effective, taking pace off the ball. And even though Van der Verve went at 11s, it was his dismissal of Ollie Pope that kick-started the collapse. So all 5 Somerset bowlers doing an excellent job.
Here are the highlights, folks, if you missed any of it. And join us straight after these for a quick chat with John Surtees. First sign of unorthodox aggression. 1 bounce for Laurie Evans is away. Makes room this time, slaps it down to deep third, and he's straight into the palms, and he's gone. Lawrence goes, and he's gone. Straight off the hip, straight to the man at deep square. Into the gap this time. Nicely timed by Ollie Pope, just to push. Oh, and he's palmed it back over for 4. Short, convincing this time. That's vintage Jason Roy. Flat and hard, straight through mid-wicket, 4 more. High. And gone. Doesn't have to move a muscle yet again. He's found the gap this time. That does go all the way, in fact. Just limps over the boundary rope.
Yeah, really rescues that over, so he's 1 run from it before the final ball got hit for 6.
Jamie Smith. That is a naughty shot. It's 12, 15 rows back, and it's effortless.
Smith goes aerial again. 6 again. 3rd 6 of the evening already for Jamie Smith. He goes again. And 6 again. Took on the man at long off, and it goes straight over his head. He goes again. And it's 6.
Goes again this time, just beats the keeper. It's well played by Ollie Pope. Picks up another boundary. That's gone all the way. Effortless yet again. Lowish full toss, clubbed over Craig Overton, 6 more. And he's played on, Ollie Pope. This should be taken. Steadies himself, and a third catch for deep square leg. Bowled in. So that first 100 will not happen today for Jamie Smith, but what an innings, 87 from 38 deliveries. Look at that, nicked him. Oh. Extra bounce by Ben Green, thank you very much. 2 in the over. Foolish again, bowled him, off stump, out the ground, on your way. Picks him out, another catch for deep square. Bowled him. Leg stump clipped, and that is the end, suddenly, just like that. The ground, they're going to be treated to a special occasion.
It is going to be a good one.
Oh, wow, that's absolutely awesome. Box office.
Welcome back to the Kia Oval. Somerset are chasing 164. It could have been so much more at one point, Phil. But now...
Well, it'll still take some chasing.
What do you make of that score?
It's a middling score. A lot will depend on the first 6, really, because if these two get going, they're as explosive as they come. Surrey are going on the attack. They've got a slip to Spencer Johnson, which makes sense.
This should be fantastic. Spencer Johnson back at the Kia Oval, the ground where he announced himself to English cricket last year in the 100. Johnson to Banton. So a reminder that Johnson, opening the bowling with Gus Atkinson for the Oval Invincibles, bowled a 20-ball spell where he conceded just 1 run, and he picked up 3 wickets in it. In his late 20s, he's enjoyed a meteoric rise over the last couple of years. Really had some terrible troubles with injury. Barely played a game of professional cricket before he was 26, and sort of arrived or spawned at the BBL a couple of years ago and hasn't looked back.
Quick apology is in order, I think, Yaz, because for those of you waiting with bated breath for the dulcet tones of John Surtees, well, we had to bump him because the highlights ran on a wee bit, and Surrey were out there quick as well, ready to get this defence up and running. But do listen to the podcast. John Surtees and Tom Holland talking about the history of this grand old arena here. You can get it, of course, wherever you pick up your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, etc., etc. It's really great stuff and well worth listening to.
Yeah.
Tales from the Oval with John and Tom.
100%. My notes tell me that it tells a story of the history of the Oval from before the Doomsday Book right up to the present day.
Yeah, Tom knows his stuff, and then a little bit more on top of it. As does John, of course, who's steered Tom's whimsy very elegantly up until now, the ones that I've listened to.
Oh, is that a chance?
Don't think he got anything on it yet, but it went almost like a leg break, really. Just angled across the right-hander and beautifully bowled.
Yeah, judging by the reaction of keeper and slip, there's no bat on it, but that moved significantly after it passed the bat of Tom Banton. Good start here from Spencer Johnson, nailing that awkward, slightly shorter than a length area. 4 dot balls to start. Well fielded by the man at short fine leg. 5 dots to start from Surrey. Really good start from Spencer Johnson.
Yeah, this is what they need as well. The tempo of an innings is so often defined by the early deliveries, and Surrey are on it here. He's just moved his man at deep square a little bit finer as well, making quite a play of it as well. And now he's bringing deep third up and moving the man on the 45 back to the boundary. So 2 men on the leg side now and a tight ring on the off.
Maiden over to start from Spencer Johnson. Outstanding with a new ball. Somerset scoreless after 1 over. Yeah, going back to the field with Johnson having that over, there was an enormous gap between point and mid-off, and a couple of men in the ring behind square on the offside, sort of telegraphing that Johnson liked to bowl slightly shorter than usual.
Quick shout out to Paul Hyde, who writes in, great to see so many families here at the Kia Oval. 2 of my sons are up in the Galadari stand with my grandson, and my 3rd son as well is watching with me on the stream down in Portsmouth, having been to the Hampshire-Kent game earlier in the piece in Southampton. I'm at home in Wimbledon. Great, he says, does Paul, that cricket is catching the public imagination.
Gus Atkinson beats the bat again. 7 dot ball to start. So that Oval Invincibles pair that bowled so spectacularly against the Manchester Originals last summer, reunited here. That was the day, Phil, that Gus Atkinson touched 95 miles per hour.
Yeah, we were up in the Wisden box, up there in the Bedser stand, and caused quite a flutter watching it.
Speed gets off the mark with a quick single into the offside. Yeah, it's one of those spells that, you know, Atkinson hasn't hit 95 miles per hour, and I know that not all speed guns are 100% accurate at all times. But that wasn't the most interesting thing. It was that he was bowling to Phil Salt and Josh Butler, and both were hopping. A seriously, seriously fast spell, and one that sort of catapulted him into England contention. Drilled through the offside by Tom Banton. He gets off the mark. Through the offside. Powerful shot, well timed.
Yeah, it was a lovely shot. Weighted on it as well. Pummeled it into the ground, which is a sign of a player in form. He's been making great strides as Tom Banton in red ball cricket.
Yeah, still only 25. Been around for a long time. Tries the ramp. A shot he's very comfortable playing. Ball only very narrowly missed Banton's off stump. Yeah, Banton, if you go back 5 years ago, burst onto the scene as a 20-year-old. An incredible T20 Blast campaign for Somerset. Got himself into a couple of England squads early. A couple of really encouraging performances for England. Driven again into the offside, this time behind square, and it runs away for 4 again. A second boundary in the over as Atkinson clocks 89 miles per hour. There's that pace we're talking about.
Yeah, it was there to hit, wasn't it? It was a wideish half volley. It's not quite what Gus Atkinson will be looking for at this point.
Yeah, maybe searching for a little early swing movement. Not quite getting his line right. driven again for a single. 10 runs off Gus Atkinson's first over Somerset, 10 for naught.
Shout out to Henry Dawson down in Auckland, New Zealand, tuning in to the cast. Must be relatively late down there. No, in fact, really early, really early. Great stuff, Henry. And he says he's hoping that his dad's watching. His dad's a big Surrey fan, despite, he writes, living in Shropshire. Great stuff, Henry. Glad you're enjoying the show. And a shout out to our very own Daniel Norcross, who writes, for the first time in my life, I've managed to make an in-flight Wi-Fi work, so I'm bathing in the warm waters of your lucid company, etc., etc., etc. Much love, lads.
Johnson in again, and the Somerset pair pinch another quick single. I thought you were briefly going to do a Dan Norcross impression.
No, I'll leave that alone. I have done one or two in my time. He's easily aped, is Daniel. He has his own style. But he's somewhere between Dallas and New York, apparently. Tuning in and watching, as he says, Jamie Smith's fireworks. They're tuning in from all over the world, yes. And I tell you what, this is an interesting game that we've got here. Run rate 8.5.
And Smead knocks that into that gap we were talking about earlier, in between mid-off and point. He picks up a single.
He's been very good here, the left armour. He's been excellent.
Somerset noticeably more reserved in the opening stages of their innings compared to Surrey. Surrey really came out all guns blazing. Not always successfully. There was no change in the game plan at all after the loss of early wickets. Jamie Smith nearly out first ball, trying to whack it out of the park. Picked up 4 with an inside edge that narrowly missed his leg stump.
It's the only false shot he played, I would say.
Stunning innings. Actually reminded me, this game situation reminds me of there was an England Australia T20 in 2020, so in the lockdown phase where no fans are in the ground, and Josh Buttler scored 80 odd in a T20. Inside edge this time from Smead, will pick up 1, and Owen Morgan after the game, or 2, come back for 2, and they just about make it. Smead moves on to 4. And Owen Morgan after the game said that England totally misread the pitch because of how Buttler played. Buttler found life so easy on what was actually quite a difficult wicket. England thought that par was 20 or 30 runs more than it actually was, and England ended up winning that game comfortably. But I wonder, from what we've seen so far, we're 20 or so overs into the contest. Jamie Smith has batted on a totally different level to everyone else we've seen so far. I'm still not really sure what a good score is on this surface.
Both bowlers have gone full. They've attacked the stumps. I guess for the first 2 or 3 with the new ball, that makes sense, but you imagine the seamers in the middle overs will perhaps go to the Somerset approach, pace off, heavy balls into the pitch. If there is any slight discrepancies in the pace in the pitch, then they can try and exploit that. Jason Roy is off the field, by the way, Yaz.
Jamie Smith, excellent with the bat and excellent with the glove. That's an excellent take behind the stumps. Shorter from Spencer Johnson. Banton gets a bit of glove on it. There's a serious deflection, and Smith had considerable ground to make, and he made it. Takes the catch cleanly. Surrey have an early breakthrough. Somerset 16 for 1.
Yeah, look, he's a big lad as well, and he needed to stretch long and hard there, and he's picked it out the air. A smaller statured keeper probably wouldn't have been able to get a hand to that, but he gets 2 hands to it as well, which is a mark of how good his footwork is to get across. As you say, that was a significant piece of bat as well. There's a serious deflection. Brilliant catch. Everything is running for Jamie Smith as we speak, and Surrey have started excellently here, 3 overs in, 16 for 1.
Yeah, Johnson causing trouble With his awkward bounce, tall bowler, muscular bowler, hits the pitch hard and rewarded with an early breakthrough. Clark into the attack now from the pavilion end. Clark, one of the stars of the Surrey first-class side, one of the first names on the team sheet, bowls with good pace. He's one of the players who's been given a chance in the T20 side because of the absences of your likes of Tom Curran, Chris Jordan, who's top lead. Smeed looks to give himself a bit of room, but Clark follows him. So in the entirety of the 2023 season, Jordan Clark bowled 1 over for Surrey, playing a more prominent role this year.
There's an international flavour, Yaz, to our audience this evening.
Short, that is absolutely enormous. And so nearly out the ground. That is genuinely only 3 rows away from disappearing from the Keir Oval. Slightly shorter from Jordan Clark. And Will Smeed has helped it on its way, really, behind square on the leg side. And we saw some serious blows from Jamie Smith earlier in the piece, but that might be the biggest 6 of the day.
It might be. It is. That is a monster.
Dropped in the crowd, by the way.
You also need to bear in mind as well that the pitch is not central. It's further to the Archbishop Tennyson School side of the ground.
Clark follows Smeed again, who outside edges it, but it races away to the deep third boundary. 10 runs in 2 balls for Smeed. He's moved on to 15 off 9 deliveries. Somerset took a little while to get going in their innings, but now 26 for 1 after 3.4 overs. A noticeably more reserved start to the Somerset innings compared to how Surrey started.
Well, I guess that's the benefit of knowing that you're chasing a decent target, but not a monstrous one. I still can't get over that 6. That's 100 metres and plenty. I haven't seen many hit out the ground that way. I can think of 1 or 2. That was very close. I remember Jason Roy hit one over the Galadari into the road a few years back. Marlon Samuels, I remember, picked Ryan's side bottom off his toes, lowish full toss, and it went out the ground that way towards the old Cricketers pub.
Chris Gale hit Brett Lee out the ground in the 2009 World T20, I think.
Over the scoreboard,
yeah.
Exactly the other way from where we're looking. But that is an extraordinary shot. You understand why there are some good judges who are very excited about this kid, Will Smeed.
Smeed, of course, made the brave decision to effectively retire from first-class cricket before he'd made his first-class debut. It's the end of the 4th over Somerset, 27 for 1. That's something that basically no other young player has done. So it'll be fascinating to see how that move pays off for him.
Yeah, just going back to our international flavoured broadcast this evening. So Harry Waggett watching in from Sri Lanka. Dan and Simon, Somerset fans on holiday in the Isles of Scilly. Oh, not bad for some. Connor Penniston-Bird in Greystones, or Greystones, not sure, County Wicklow Island. Raoul Megani in Canada. He's a Surrey fan thanks to his girlfriend.
Fuller from Johnson, and Smeed has whacked that over the fielder at short mid-wicket to pick up 4 more. Took a couple of overs to get his eye in, but now Smeed is really moaching along, 20 off 11. Talking earlier about the lengths that Spencer Johnson was bowling, that maybe his fullest delivery yet. Really trying to search for any swing that might be on offer. Sorry, going all in here. Spencer Johnson bowling his 3rd over on the trot. Bowled him! Smead was looking dangerous, but he's gone. Spencer Johnson has his second wicket in 3 deliveries. He's removed both Somerset openers. Somerset now 31 for 2 in the 5th over.
Yeah, it's fast and straight. He's been superb here. And Surrey are really making a very strong fist of this. They've been at it right from ball 1. And they have a star, don't they, in Spencer Johnson. Came from nowhere a year or 2 back. Announced himself in the 100. And Surrey have snapped him up for the first 8 games of this year's Vitality Blast. He's the real deal. You can understand why not just county cricket are interested, but
all the franchises.
All the
franchises.
And the senior side as well in Australia. They like the look of him.
He is someone who I cannot make this point any stronger. You've got to watch him live. You've got to watch him live because he is quick, and you really do get a better sense of pace when you see someone like him or Riley Meredith live. Just look at the replay there. Smead trying to power that through the offside, got a slight under edge, dragging the ball onto his stumps.
Keith Patterson, yes, they keep on coming. Keith Patterson tuning in from the Palm Jumeirah in Dubai. And someone called Baron Lord Ponsonby, who apparently is a big fan, somewhere in Dallas. Room 1517, folks, if you're in the neighbourhood.
Direct hit. And I think Carter Cadmore might have been in a little bit of trouble.
What's been so impressive here, with no margin for error, he's been gun barrel straight. He's given nothing outside off where you can throw your hands at it. Nothing to hit at all, and so with 1 or 2 exceptions, the cover fieldsman and the point fieldsman and the backward point fieldsman, they've not really been in the game. And when you consider this is a left arm over the wicket seamer, it's outstanding accuracy here.
The line's been impeccable.
Yeah, 2.4 overs, 2 for 11.
Oh, beats Carter Cadmore. Slightly fuller this time, and Spencer Johnson getting that ball that's nearly 5 overs old to hoop back in to Carter Cadmore. That only very narrowly missed his off stump. 2 for 11 from 2.5 overs. What a spell this has been so far.
By the way, you don't have to be abroad to write in. If you're in Guildford or Taunton or wherever, then do send us a line. Great to hear from you all.
Oh, inside edge this time, beats Jamie Smith, and it will run away to the boundary for 4. Carter Cadmore gets off the mark. Somerset 36 for 2 after 5 overs. Really interesting to see how these two play it. 2 of the most experienced batters in this Somerset lineup. No Lewis Gregory, of course, who got them over the line against Essex in the season opener the other day. Still yet to see the batter, other than Jamie Smith, find real fluency today. Atkinson continues. Direct it, and he could be in trouble, but just misses the stump. It's Rory Burns on the field, by the way, who's fielding in place of Jason Roy, who was in the wars during his brief stay at the crease. Picked up a couple of blows.
Yeah, I hope that's not too serious. I imagine it's the blow to the arm, the lower part of the arm, just above the wrist, which will be the concern. Ricocheted up to clank him on the helmet, but I think it may have been that initial blow.
Carter Cadmore trying to give himself a bit of room, but Atkinson follows him. Atkinson, I was wrong, he's not continuing, he's back into the attack. Just the 1 over for Jordan Clark from the pavilion end. So stability at one end from Spencer Johnson and change from the other.
Do you bowl Johnson out? Go for the jugular. They'll be sorely tempted.
Yeah, I can really see the argument for it. We saw Craig Overton bowl 4 straight at the top of the Surrey innings. If you think about how ways in which Surrey can win this game, it's running through Somerset early. And Spencer Johnson, we saw in his 3rd over, still getting the ball to swing. It won't be swinging like that later on in the innings. Ooh. Short and sharp from Atkinson, who followed Carlo Cadmore once again, but this time it's called wide. We're going through the Surrey bowling options. We've already seen Jordan Clark bowl 1 over. Atkinson's got 2 overs. After this, you've still got the leg spin of Cam Steele, Johnson's Aussie mate Sean Abbott, Tom Curran. Big swing from Carlo Cadmore. 5 balls at the crease, not yet looked comfortable. He's looked to be aggressive. There's no one out on the boundary on the offside, and with 2 deliveries left for the power play, the Somerset batter really trying to make the most of the fielding restrictions. And that has gone for 6. And that is the 2nd tier in the pavilion end. 2 almighty blows already in the Somerset innings. Carlo Cadmore has looked to play the big shot a couple of times already in his brief stay at the crease, but he's absolutely nailed that one.
Yeah, again, and echoes of Jamie Smith, just effortless. If you keep that foundation, if you keep your solid base.
Follows him again, and Carlo Cadmore picks up his 2nd 6th run. Do we have a crowd catch?
We do, and it's a Steward, folks.
No way!
What a step!
And he's so relaxed about it, so casual.
That is a screamer. That's gone head high, flat and hard, and the boys plucked it out of the air. Now sit down, please, folks. Give that man a contract.
Some shot from Carlo Cadmore, short and sharp from Gus Atkinson. He has flicked it over his own left shoulder, really. And a stunning piece of work in the crowd by Mr. Steward.
No inquiry necessary.
And a really good finish to the power play for Somerset. Somerset now 52 for 2 after 6 overs. Sean Abbott into the attack now for the first time today. On the theme of shout-outs, a shout-out to all 25,000 people currently watching the stream. Thank you so much for joining us, folks.
I think our producer's getting carried away. I think he wants to hear from all 25,000 of you. You do not have to, unless you particularly want to. But thanks ever so much for listening. There is our Steward. What a man. Look at that, cool as ice. Just another day in paradise for the boy. I reckon that fella has shot a few balls on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen by accident.
Quite a peculiar next couple of hours for him, because he's still got the day job. He's still got the day job to concentrate on.
I hope there's nothing in the small print that says the Steward's I'll take £1,000 away. There really will be an inquiry.
Abbott started really well here. Bowling stump to stump, offering no width to the Somerset batters. Cramping Tom Abel for run. Concedes a run for the first time off the 3rd delivery of the over. Full this time from Abbott, and that's flicked to the deep backward square leg fielder, who was wrong-footed a little bit and actually did really well to stop the ball going to the fence. Laurie Evans smiling wryly at that piece of fielding.
Yeah, that was nonchalant, to say the least.
Abel looks to go aerial, and it goes straight to the man at long on. Rory Burns with a regulation chance, and he takes it. Surrey have their 3rd wicket, and it's a big one. Tom Abel goes for 4. That's a big moment, Phil.
It is indeed, and he's coming off the back of an excellent 55 as well against Essex in just 32 balls, and so he's the man in form. He's a storied player, but it wasn't quite there for the shot. Got slightly big on him. He's gone through with it, and in the end, it's a pretty easy catch there for Rory Burns. Surrey have been absolutely on this one, feeding off the atmosphere in the crowd. Has the sense of a real spectacle now as the lights come on. And this is anyone's. 3 down. Somerset back deep, of course. They don't have Lewis Gregory in the side, and while Tom Lammerby's a very good replacement, Gregory's the kind of player you want in a situation such as this. A calm head to see you home, and so they do lose a little bit of nous with his absence. Sean Dixon is in at number 5, a solid kind of number 5, a finisher type player. Cadmore, you feel, is the main man here. Brilliant T20 player, IPL level, recently back in the country, and you feel like the innings hangs on him.
Dixon looks to get off the mark, first delivery, but can't quite manage it, and that ends a very successful first over from Sean Abbott. Concedes just 2 runs and picks up the all-important wicket of Tom Abel. Somerset 54 for 3 after 7.
Yeah, we've got a good one here on the pitch. Great things happening off it too. Email coming in from Matthew Bamford Bowes saying he's watching the YouTube broadcast from home in Lewisham. He's also coach of Catford and Cyprus junior teams, and they've got a number of people out here at the ground soaking up the sun at the Xbox family zone. There's about 50 of them there, under 13s, under 11s, under 9s. And he just wants to make a shout out to all the incredible hard work and tireless enthusiasm. They make coaching absolutely worth every single moment. What a beautiful email by Matthew Bamford Bowes there. Right, spin for the first time of the innings, and that's gone hard and fast and long and into the crowd. Well, that's one way to treat the leg spinner. One delivery by Cameron Steele, popped back, straight back past him for 6. You feel like Tom Kohler-Cadmore, who's kicked around the edges of the IPL, got his chance when Josh Buttler left to come back home for Rajasthan, didn't really pull up too many trees, and he feels, I reckon, like he's itching to get into his season. 24 from 9 now. Emma Calvert is back on the mark.
Yeah. I'm still not over the Steward crowd catch. What a grab.
Did you see it live? Did you?
I did, yeah.
It was spectacular.
Get him signed up.
Yeah, there's just perhaps a slight issue in the crowd here. We hope everything's okay. That was a hard hit, flat and hard into the lower stand, just below that sight screen, and we hope that nobody's done a nuisance here. We're just waiting to see. Yeah, I think we are hearing that somebody's worn one here. Hopefully nothing too serious. So just a pause in the entertainment for a while. And so yeah, Emma, talk me through this afternoon.
Yeah.
South East Stars, 4 wins, undefeated, 1 no result, top of the league. Certainly they were a couple of hours ago. I think there's been another game this evening, but
yeah,
you can't be asking for much more than that.
No, we can't. We've had an incredible start to the Charlotte Edwards campaign. The girls have been super impressive, as they were today. I mean, we thought Vipers were probably 20-30 light, and I think we showed that when we came out to bat as well. It's a good deck out there.
Who really stood out then for you?
like you said, in the first innings, Danny Gregory had a fantastic spell, and then obviously opening partnership of Brian Sophia Dunkley. They put on 47 for the first wicket, which is a great start, and then Sophia going on to get her half century.
Yeah, Bryony Smith signed a contract to commit herself to Surrey from next year, of course, when it's all change.
Yeah.
Revolution in women's cricket in this country, of course, and those 8 counties are now going fully professional, aligned with their male counterparts, and Bryony is the first big signing, certainly the first big signing that I've heard about. I'm sure you have a few more in the pipeline.
There's a couple more under wraps just for now, yeah, but no, I think it was only right. Bryony was the first signing. She's led South East Stars through this regional period, and I think just moving into the new Tier 1 structure, it's going to be really exciting for Bryony to lead her childhood side out here. She's been playing at Surrey since she was 9 years old. Dream come true moment for her.
Yeah, it must be a fascinating time to be involved in the women's game. So much good stuff happening. So there's going to be a resumption here. Happily, our spectator is walking unassisted. He's got a nasty cut to the forehead, I think. We wish him well. He seems to be okay. Right, so back to the action. Somerset. This innings is delicately poised. Dare I ask, where's your money here, Em?
Always in Surrey's corner, always in Surrey's corner.
Nice. The gaffer's listening, nodding sagely.
He'd shout at me if I said anything different.
They have been impressive, though, haven't they? Since half-time coming out here, they've been insistent and intense and at you the whole time. Spencer Johnson set the tone. I thought he was superb up front.
Yeah, he was very... Oh!
And he's got to go. That's outstanding. He looks entirely comfortable, did Tom Curran. He didn't reckon on such brilliance from straight mid-wicket. Gather and one stump to aim at, takes it out the ground. Cadmore was comfortable. It's a brilliant piece of work by Sean Abbott. It's a superb piece of work. Surrey have been at it right from the get-go here. It looked like a comfortable 2, and Cadmore is nowhere. Brilliant stuff. This is high quality out here. You can see why these two are perhaps the most complete T20 sides in the country. Both made finals day last year, of course, met in the semis. Somerset bested Surrey on that occasion. Surrey are hungry for revenge here. 4 down suddenly now, Somerset. And the big danger man, Tom Curran, is gone. Reverse sweep right off the stumps. Thank you very much. So, Sean Dixon is away. He's been joined by Tom Lammonby, the left-hander, who came in for Lewis Gregory. Here is the run out again. All in one movement. Absolutely class.
He's covered some serious ground there as well to get to that.
This is it. It didn't look like there was much pressure on that too, did there? So, 4 down. Key partnership, you feel. Airborne, skewed off the outside edge, but safe enough. Lammonby's away. 8 gone. 68 for 4. Run rate 8.5. Required run rate 8.5. Try saying that. Sam's out and about. He's got someone for us.
Yes, I'm back in the Kia best seat in the house with someone who has made history earlier on. For those who are watching at home, you will have missed the Kia high catch competition. For the first time ever, we had 6 catches out of 6, and that was all down to this man, Ryan. We spoke to you earlier. Ryan, sporting history at the Oval. We had Alistair Cook's final Test century here, his final match, and your name can be added to the pantheon of cricketing greats that have done something amazing here at the Oval.
Oh, I feel great about it. I felt a lot of pressure going up to it, actually, because I mean, I've got Kia written across my chest, and I just couldn't let myself drop a single ball out of there. So I'm just glad that I was able to bring it home and do Kia a good job. And it was nerve-wracking.
And I felt a bit sorry for Carlos, who had done so well, and then he got chucked a bit of a
low ball.
A low ball, and he made such a good effort.
I know. He's also the sort of bloke that potentially would have dropped that just to make me look better. He's that nice, which is painful.
What a guy. Back up to the guys in the commentary box.
Beats him. Good stuff by Sean Abbott, will be feeling good about life after that run out in the previous over. So they just have to rebuild here to Somerset. 4 down for 72. The required rate is far from out of hand at this point, just a tick under 8s. Another fresh air shot, no feet on this occasion by Tom Lammonby. He's looking a bit twitchy out there just now. His first game of the tournament. Feel like a lot on these two, but then there is power as well down the pipe. Ben Green hits a long ball. Craig Overton, skipper today, at 8, and Rolf van der Merwe is capable of pyrotechnics as well. He's now down at 9. We just have to consolidate here, these two. The squeeze is on. So the field is spread now. 5 men on the boundary. Big wide open space between extra and mid-off. And so accordingly, he's banging it in halfway down and goading, if you like, Tom Lammonby to try and play the cross-bat shot. Men out square on both sides now. So impressive by this outfit. You imagine they might have felt a bit stung at half-time, Surrey, having left a few out there. But they're fighting hard here. 92 to win, 11.1. Another one ticks by, 12 gone.
Great second over there from Abbott, going for just 5 runs.
Yeah, it's impressive. Him and Spencer Johnson, the 2 Aussies, have been very good today. Just available for the first 8 games of the Blast this time round, but of course Surrey will be welcoming back their internationals from their tour of duty down in the West Indies and get going later this week. We're trying to find more information about the steward who took the crowd catch. It's the only story in town, folks. We've got to get him up here to the box. So, Tom Curran into the attack, and he's bang on cue. Tom Lammonby's not got going at all yet, but there's still time. There's no great scoreboard pressure. $6,000 were in this afternoon, Emma.
Yeah, it was a nice turnout. I think the sunshine definitely helps, but lovely to see that many people down here.
And it must be so good for the girls as well to be exposed to this kind of arena on a regular basis and to get used to there being significant crowds in as well.
For sure, yeah.
Pushed hard to mid-off, who doesn't beat him, so just a single. Ollie Pope doing some good work there.
Yeah, the girls are quite used to the large crowds in the 100, but I think it feels different when it's your domestic team. So for them, it was really exciting to be out there today and have so many fans out supporting them.
Sophia Dunkley in the runs as well.
I know, yeah. She's had a tough couple of weeks, obviously missing out on that England squad, but she's definitely staking her claim back.
Clubbed into the onside for 4. Premeditated by Sean Dixon. That is going to be his area. If you beat mid-wicket. So he's bringing fine leg up into the circle and putting another man out on the boundary. So choking that spot now. Pick up more runs behind square. And we'll come back for a second. Spencer Johnson's got a bullet arm, but Dixon's good for it. Quick shout out to Joshua and Phoebe Brinicombe, I'm going for, in Purbright, both players for Purbright CC. Thanks for listening, watching, getting involved. Do keep your emails and messages coming through, please. All 25,000 of you. Not all at once. Bowled in! Dixon goes. Curran's having a cracking tournament. You miss, I hit. 5 down now for 80. And Surrey are beginning to turn the screw.
Yeah, no, that was a great wicket. They really put the pressure on through that over. Great to see those stumps fly.
Yeah, it's well bowled. Top of off. Doesn't matter what format of cricket. That's a pretty useful delivery. Tom Curran picked up wickets in the earlier games and runs, and he's right back in the action here again. 5 down. Surrey in the ascendancy at the halfway point. I'm going to hand over to Yaz.
You'll see on your screens right now a QR code to join the Surrey Cricket WhatsApp channel. So scan that and you'll be added to the Surrey Cricket WhatsApp channel for all the latest news and information. Everything Surrey. Atkinson to continue. There's a real fierceness about that Tom Curran over. At the start of the over, he was very sternly directing where he wanted his fielders to go.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted to do for sure, and it paid off.
Feels like Surrey on top, but when you're chasing 160, you're never really out of the game. It takes a long time for you to be out of the game, so a batter as capable as Rolf van der Merwe carded to come in at number 9. A lot of batting to come still for Somerset.
Yeah, Somerset bat really deep, and as we saw in the first innings, the game can just change so quickly, so still a lot of work to do, but in a good position.
The longer time passes in this game, we see more and more players battle with this surface, the more extraordinary that Jamie Smith innings looks.
Yeah, he really did make it look effortless out there. It was like he was playing a different game.
Yeah. How was the pitch for the game earlier today?
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, Vipers went out to bat first. We knew they were probably 20-30 light. It was a good deck. We were happy with what we restricted them to, despite them having a big last over.
So a question I've always wondered, what does a director of cricket actually do? That sounds like quite a broad title.
Yeah.
What does a Monday look like in the job?
every Monday is very different, and I think it's particularly different in the women's game to the men's game just now, just because of where we're at. Obviously, huge performance focus takes the majority of it. So player contracting, getting the right support staff in place. But I think in the women's game, just because of the nature of it, because we've been regional teams, not necessarily been bedded in at a county, there's been some additional bits to it.
Logistically, it must be quite difficult, right? Because players are coming from all over the place, and there's not one hub in the same way as you have here with the Surrey men's team.
Yeah, exactly that, and just all those little added extras that come with being part of a county, your media team and all those bits. Like, it would be great to have that.
Oh, outside edge. Atkinson very, very nearly picks up the sixth, what would have been the sixth Somerset wicket to fall. Outside edge from Green, runs away to the boundary. He picks up 4 to move on to 5. Somerset 86 for 5. Another very decent over for Surrey despite that boundary, just 6 runs from it.
So yeah, every day is very, very different, but probably a few more tasks to do as a women's director of cricket with the regional model than hopefully we'll be moving forward. I'll be able to put a lot more time into the pure performance side of things, which will be exciting.
Change in the Surrey bowling attack. Dan Lawrence comes on from the pavilion end, replacing Tom Curran, who struck in his first over into the attack. So when all the logistics and contracts are all sorted, how does your role oversee performance? What are the sort of things that you're working on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, I think different elements. A big part of that is pathway development, making sure we've got the next talented players coming through, making sure that the girls have all of the support from coaching, science and medicine, just well-being perspective as well, all very important.
And is the pathway changing quite quickly? I imagine that because of the popularity of women's cricket exploding in the last 5 years, you just have so many more people playing it. So therefore, the pathways that existed 5 or so years ago are going to be different to what existed 5 years' time.
Yeah, and Surrey as a county has more women and girls teams than any other county. It's got over 500 teams now, and I think just the growth of the women's game, having more role models has just meant more women and girls want to go out there and play cricket, which is fantastic. So yeah, the pool of talent is growing massively.
Lambie. Is that taken? Spencer Johnson, he doesn't look totally sure himself. He doesn't know. He says he doesn't have any idea, so it looks like we're going to continue. But it's an outstanding effort from Spencer Johnson, running in from the line. This was hit hard and low from Lambie.
Hard to tell.
Yeah, those are really difficult to tell. I think it's the right decision to give it not out.
Yeah, agreed.
When you're not sure. And I don't think anyone there could be totally sure that Spencer Johnson completely got his fingers underneath the ball. Flicked away into the leg side for a single, and that completes an uneventful first over from Dan Lawrence. Just 4 runs from it. Another quietly productive over for the home side.
Yeah, squeeze is on now.
Yeah, just keep an eye out on that required run rate. It's just nudged above 9 runs and over as we take a look at that. Attempted catch from Spencer Johnson.
So hard to tell from that angle as well.
He initially thinks out. I wonder if Johnson sees the non-reaction from his teammate almost, and then becomes less sure himself, because his instant reaction, I know he shrugs his shoulders and says, I don't know, 5 seconds later. But he was convinced straight away.
Oh,
it's another hit, this time from Jamie Smith. But not out.
Yeah, I think no one expected him to cover the ground he did to actually make it possible to catch the ball, so... Be interested to see that from a different angle. But I think you're right, maybe he just didn't quite get his fingers underneath it.
Tom Curran back into the attack from the other end, this time bowling from the Vauxhall end. Yeah, that required run rate now, 9.19 runs and over. Dropped at cover by Jordan Clark. You'd expect him to take that one. Spooned up by Tom Lambie. It's a relatively straightforward chance to Jordan Clark. He didn't have to move too far. It wasn't coming at him that quickly.
Yeah, it's not like Jord, that one.
It's a big moment. Lambie, been at the crease for a while. Hugely talented player. Bowling, Tom Curran strikes with a following delivery. Ben Green departs. Tom Curran picks up his second wicket of the evening. Surrey have their sixth. Somerset 93 for 6. Outstanding cricket from Tom Curran to respond to that drop catch.
And all of a sudden, Clarkie is forgiven.
Yes, although Lammonby is still there, so who knows how big a moment that will be come the end of the game. But Tom Curran has made a name for himself with his bag of tricks with the ball, but he's kept things relatively simple so far today. Attacking those stumps, bowling straight, lots of fielders in front of square, applying the squeeze, putting pressure on Somerset, trying to get them to take risks, and he's picked up 2 wickets in the space of 9 deliveries. Big, big moment. Craig Overton, the stand-in Somerset captain, is now at the crease. Oh, it's another drop catch. First ball, Craig Overton spoons the ball back to Tom Curran. The difficult chance came quickly at him. Got both hands to it.
Yeah, it was quite a good height for catching that, but always hard to react that quickly when you're bowling.
He's making things happen, Tom Curran. 2 for 10 for 1.4 overs and 2 drop catches in there as well. Tucks Lambie for room. Dot ball. Lambie really struggling to get going here. 12 off 16. It's a difficult one for Lambie because he's got to survive. Van der Merwe at 9 is probably the last recognised batter for Somerset. A lot of runs to get here. 70 off 43. That required run rate creeping up as well. 9.77 runs and over.
Oh, it's huge.
In the slot. And Lammonby has deposited that one into the stands. Huge blow. We're just saying that Lammonby has taken a while to get going. That's his first 6. He moves on to 18. That also brings up the Somerset 100. 100 for 6 after 13 overs. They require 66 from the final 7. What a shot that was.
Fantastic shot, yeah.
Emma leaves us and Phil comes back in to take it to the finish. That's a very, very eventful over. Wicket, 2 drop catches and a 6.
Yeah, and Tom Lammonby needed that. He was in the slot. But those are the kinds of shots that just get a man going here. 18 from 17, it's been a bit of a struggle up until now. But yeah, it's all on. 64 from 42. 4 in hand.
Driven into the offside. Briefly think about 2, but decide against it. A couple more shout-outs. One to William Camfield, watching from my balcony in Barcelona with a beer in hand. Could be worse. Yeah, that does sound pretty good, Will. Slightly slower from Lawrence. Lammonby drives it down the ground for one. Year 7, 8 and 9 students from Kennet School in Thatcham, Berkshire, who are having a great time at the Kia Oval today, from Matthew, maybe Mr. Smith. And Fiona McGregor watching the stream from Wellingborough is a Somerset fan. Third game of the day, having been out watching the double-header at Northampton. That is a serious effort, Fiona. Lambie goes the big shot again, doesn't quite time it, and this time Spencer Johnson does take the catch, and that's a huge wicket. Lambie falls, Somerset lose their 7th, and Lawrence has been effective here. 10 deliveries into the attack, yet to concede a boundary. Somerset have struggled to score against him, and he's picked up a really crucial over, 1 over after Lambie got dropped by Jordan Clark at cover.
It was there for the shot, but he just collapses his back leg a bit, and so it ends up becoming a more conventional sweep shot position. He maybe just stood up a tiny bit taller. He may have got a bit more bat on it. Always chancing his arm to take on the fieldsman on the onside there. It's a longish boundary out that way, but nonetheless, that you feel like that is a significant blow, really, for Somerset. Rolla van der Merwe, who's a mercurial batter, capable of extraordinary things on his day.
He's got form against Surrey. Responsible for genuinely one of the most ridiculous 50 over 100s ever.
The 160?
Yeah.
Yeah, extraordinary. So by no means are they down and out just yet, but 103 for 7, you feel like this is it now for Somerset, these two.
Yeah, this game has swung so many times one way to the other. I would not be surprised if we have another one coming our way, but Surrey very much on top at the moment. Now, Lawrence obviously has his own unique action that is simultaneously ugly and beautiful. But he's quite an old school off spinner, isn't he? With that wicket of Lambie, he really does toss it up, really invites the opposition batter to take him down the ground.
Yeah, I think he's a very useful bowler in all formats now. It was a statement of intent by Surrey that on his debut for the club, he bowled 20-something overs on day 1 of their first red ball game.
So as we see, Somerset were going pretty well, just about keeping in touch with how Surrey did in their first innings. But Surrey been able to really apply the squeeze in the last few overs.
And significant moments as well, broken up those wickets. Just at the time where you think Somerset are rebuilding, then another one goes. It's been a procession, really. But Surrey have just been superb, encapsulated by the run-out by Sean Abbott. Emma and I were happy just chatting away, thinking it was a relatively straightforward 2.
Well, here is Abbott. That was a truly remarkable piece of fielding. Abbott was charging in, bent down low, and in one motion got rid of the ball as quick as he could have done. One, maybe 1.5 stumps to aim at, and what a huge moment in the game. Not just a brilliant piece of fielding, but it was the man that he dismissed, Tom Curran.
T20's about moments. You can look back at Jamie Smith's catch as well, the snare over his left shoulder. Did well to get anything to it, managed to get 2 hands on it to get rid of Tom Banton.
And another. Van der Merwe cuts this one straight to Spencer Johnson, who takes another catch, this time at short third. Surrey well and truly on top now. Somerset 106 for 8. Their run chase is falling apart.
Yeah, they've been inspired. They really have. This set of bowlers know exactly what to do for these conditions. The fields are well set. It's not coincidence that these balls keep going to hand. The thinking is clear throughout. Pope has run the show very cannily as well. He looks in complete control of his team here. He's run the changes as well, brought in the slower men at key points. Just going back as well to Dan Lawrence, he's become a very, very useful bowler. And because of his height, because he bowls quite wicket to wicket, he's hard to get away in one-day cricket, hard to get under, doesn't bowl too many half volleys.
Fuller this time from Abbott to the new man, Jake Ball. And just touching on Ollie Pope, I've been really impressed by how he's managed these overs so far. I've not watched a lot of Ollie Pope, the captain. Obviously, he was given the England vice-captaincy at a relatively young age, 25, I think he was. And people within the England dressing room really big up his leadership credentials.
Yeah, well, he's a real cricket nuffy, as they call them down in Australia. You know, he lives, breathes, thinks, sleeps, dreams about the game. He's completely immersed in it. And you see it when he talks from a technical perspective about batting. You interviewed him a few weeks ago, fascinating piece. He's a deep thinker on the game, and you can see it just in the way he goes about his business as an on-field captain.
Ooh. Short this time from Abbott, and Ball quite uncomfortably got out the way of it. Yeah.
I do like the shadow shot after the event. Gets in all of a tangle as it flies past his nostrils. Clearly doesn't quite fancy it, and the practice shot is just hooking it off his nose. In your dreams.
Well, he plays it this time. Big, big swing. It's gone straight up in the air and straight into the hands of Jordan Clark. It's the 9th wicket to fall. It's Abbott's 3rd. This game is very nearly done, Phil.
It is, and you can see that coming a mile off. Sean Abbott is always going to dig it in. As soon as you see a batsman fend and feint and move slightly leg-side-ish, then it's inevitable the way you're going to go again. And on perhaps a slightly too-paced pitch, third game that's taken place on it in the last 72 hours or so. Yeah, they've just been superb here, and it's a real message that Surrey are sending out, that even though they have 4 international players out there at the World Cup, they've still almost certainly gone 3-0. Semi-finalists last year. It's a monkey on the back, let's be honest, you know, that they've only won it once, and so you feel like they're going to take this competition as serious as possible.
So a reminder that once we're done today, Surrey will next be in action at home against Sussex Sharks here at the Kia Oval, 6:30 Friday night at the Kia Oval are back.
Get on the QR code, all the details.
There are some tickets available, don't miss out. Curran to continue. He beats Overton this time with a slower ball. But this would be a serious with Somerset, the dominant side, historically dominant in 2023. Very, very similar lineup in 2024. And I know they're missing Gregory today, so slightly less bowling strength. It's been a weird game because Somerset started it really well, 3 new ball wickets. Then we saw what is increased with more and more time and seeing more players back on this pitch. An increasingly absurd innings from Jamie Smith. And then Somerset really got through that Surrey lower order, taking 5 for 5 at one stage. Surrey looked like they could put on a maybe 210, 220 score.
It was a run-out chance. It was a run-out of Tom Curran really that swung it, I think.
Yeah.
You know, we've mentioned it a few times now, but spectacular piece of work by Sean Abbott. But at that point in the 8th over, 62 for 3, Curran is a top-class county T20 batter. He's just getting into his work, 25 from 10 with 3 sixes, and bunted it into the onside. But in fact, was running to the non-strikers for his mate.
chipped to mid-on, and that will be that. Surrey go 3 from 3. Rory Burns with the catch on the field for Jason Roy. Surrey have been utterly outstanding this second innings, only defending 163 on a 2-paced surface. They have managed this defence really well. Sean Abbott, arguably pick of the bowlers, 3 for 8 from 3 overs, as well as that run out that Phil mentioned. Spencer Johnson, we didn't see a 4th over from Spencer Johnson in the end, but those first 3 were brilliant, dismissing both Somerset openers just as they were looking dangerous. But Phil, we've got to go back to that Jamie Smith innings, because now the game is done. In a game where only 269 runs were scored in the T20 game in 2024, Jamie Smith scored 87 of them off 38 balls. He hit 7 sixes in 38 balls. Every single 6 in the Surrey innings came off the bat of Jamie Smith. It's a staggering performance.
Yeah, he's had a good 3 weeks or so, it's fair to say. 155 against Warwickshire in the Championship, 72 in the second innings against Worcester. He began this tournament with a very quick 30-odd against Hans, career best 76 against Glamorgan, and then that masterpiece today. But it's not just the bald stats, it's the way he did it. He oozes class in everything he does. He's one of these players incapable of an ugly moment. And you saw it, how crisply he hits it. There's elegance as well as power. There's orthodoxy as well as creativity. He's just a stunning, stunning player at the peak of his powers. There's almost that sense that you don't want to overdo it with him. You don't want to get too carried away. You just got to let him play.
Yeah, I mean, I think the summer he's having, I'd almost compare it to that of Harry Brooks a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's a good shout. And there is that sense of a player exploding now, you know. He's done a number of good things in red ball cricket. He's opened the batting and made runs. He's now batting in the middle order in T20, and he looks like the best player on the park. We're going to throw down to Sam Keir. Who's he got on the boundary for us? Sean Abbott he's got. Over to you, Sam.
Well, I'm here with Sean Abbott. Sean, well bowled, a fabulous effort there at the end where we needed some quick wickets, and you delivered.
Yeah, mates, it's you know, we're coming up with pretty good opposition there, you know, defending champions, and you know, you definitely say it's probably an under par score, but definitely was a tricky wicket, so we had to go out there and bowl well tonight, because, you know, 1 or 2 partnerships there and they'd probably get home with a few overs to spare. But I think the boys rallied very well tonight. We've had a pretty full-on first few days of the competition, but I think as a unit there we've done very well.
Talking of partnerships, just a word for Ollie and for Jamie in particular with that incredible knock.
Oh, mate, unbelievable. Like I said, it was a tricky wicket, and you're coming up against some class bowlers, so who've been doing well for a long time now. So yeah, we really needed that partnership, and to go out and play the way they did, especially Jamie, you know, really counter-punch there with a couple of amazing cricket shots. Yeah, really, you know, help us set a defendable total.
And it looked like you guys out there with the ball were bowling well as a unit, you know, at both ends, keeping the pressure on and the wickets tumbling regularly, never letting them get away from you. Was that the plan at the start of the innings?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we know the, you know, sort of the type of players they are. They're going to look to counter-punch, and they're not going to just sit there and let us bowl what we want to bowl. But, you know, the wicket sort of dictated the plans for us here. We just had to keep presenting the seam on and in around the stumps, and, you know, things went our way tonight, but I thought we were very consistent tonight, especially when they were looking pretty ominous there in the power play. But as I said, all of us sort of got together there, fielded pretty well, yeah, and got the ball in the right place often enough and got the job done.
And how good is it to be back at the Keir Oval? Obviously some fond memories from last summer, but looks like you started off in pretty good style here as well this year.
Yeah, hell of a day to have our first home game. Great weather, fans are out, getting around us as well. So, yeah, great first day back at home, and look forward to plenty more.
And before we let you go, just talk us through that run out as well. That was something pretty special.
Could you tell I didn't want to bowl anymore at him? Tommy was flying there, so yeah. I mean, you know, those sorts of moments. As a fielder, you're sort of there, your intent sort of comes for free. There are things that you can do for free, and I'm pretty happy that one hit, because like I said, he was looking pretty good there, and I'm pretty happy I didn't have to bowl any more at him. So chuff for that one.
3 from 3, things are going pretty well.
Yeah, very well, but I still think, we've played on some... First 3 wickets have offered a little bit for the bowlers. It's not been easy for the batters, although I think we've still played very well. But I think across all 3 facets of the game, I think we've got another couple of gears we can go, which is pretty ominous for the opposition, if I'm honest. So we're really happy we're none from 3, but I think we've got another couple of gears, which is exciting.
Well played tonight. Best of luck for the rest of the tournament, and congratulations on a great win in front of the Kia Oval crowd.
Damn, mate, cheers.
Back to the guys upstairs.
Thanks, Sam. Sean Abbott used the word ominous.
I noticed that as well.
They're 3 from 3, and you still feel it hasn't all clicked together yet. So this Surrey side, over the next few weeks, they're going to take some beating.
Yeah, they are, exactly that, and they were insistent today. Banton and Smeed flurry early on, but nothing really doing. Banton nicked one down the leg side, got a fair amount of bat on it, and Jamie Smith took a screamer to get rid of him. First of 2 wickets for Spencer Johnson up front. Smeed played nicely for 20 from his 12, including one monster hit behind square that almost went out of the ground, but then he was cleaned up by a break back from the left armour. Kohler Cadmore was the key man, and as Sean Abbott just said, he didn't fancy bowling to him that much, and so he just knocked his off stump out the ground as he was trying to make his ground at the non-strikers. He was the 4th man to go after Tom Abel had gone earlier in the piece for 4, and then after that there wasn't really much offering. Dixon went for 12, Lammonby for 19, and you felt that when Lammonby went, having just cleared the ropes in the previous over to give Dan Lawrence his first wicket, then it was pretty much done and dusted from there on. As you say, Yaz, Surrey's seamers were superb today. Sean Abbott, man of the match, well, man of the fielding side at least. 3 for 8, 3 for 16 as well from Tom Curran, who just bowled wicket to wicket. It was just relentless.
Both in Abbott and Curran had a very straightforward plan. It was to bowl straight and occasionally vary the pace. And between them, what's that? That's 6 for 24 from 5.4 overs. So those 2 fast medium bowlers, not express pace, really cannily adjusting their game plan for what the pitch was playing like today. And Dan Lawrence there at the bottom as well. When he first came on, the game was still in the balance, and he was really tight. 2 overs, conceding just 9 runs and picking up the important wicket of Tom Lammonby. But that is the final analysis. Surrey winning by 57 runs. Next up, we'll have a look at the highlights of today's play. Drilled through the offside by Tom Banton. He gets off the mark.
Pummeled it into the ground, which is a sign of a player in form.
Driven again into the offside, this time behind square, and it runs away for 4 again. Jamie Smith, excellent with the bat and excellent with the glove. That's an excellent take behind the stumps. Short, that is absolutely enormous. Clark follows Smeed again, who outside edges it. Fuller from Johnson, and Smeed has whacked that over the fielder at short mid-wicket. Spencer Johnson bowling his 3rd over on the trot. Bowled him! Smeed was looking dangerous, but he's gone. Follows him again, and Kohler Cadmore picks up his 2nd 6th run. Do we have a crowd catch?
We do, and it's a Steward, folks.
No way!
And that's gone hard and fast and long and into the crowd. Spencer Johnson set the tone. I thought he was superb up front.
Yeah, he was very... Oh!
And he's got to go. That's outstanding. He looks entirely comfortable, did Tom Curran. He didn't reckon on such brilliance from straight mid-wicket. Clubbed into the onside for 4. Bowling! Dixon goes. Curran's having a cracking tournament.
Lambie. Is that taken? Spencer Johnson, he doesn't look totally sure himself. Dropped at cover by Jordan Clark. You'd expect him to take that one. Bowling, Tom Curran strikes with a following delivery. Ben Green departs, Tom Curran picks up his 2nd wicket.
Oh, it's huge.
In the slot, and Lammonby has deposited that one into the stands. Lammonby goes to the big shot again, doesn't quite time it, and this time Spencer Johnson does take the catch, and that's a huge wicket. And another. Van der Merwe cuts this one straight to Spencer Johnson, who takes another catch. Well, he plays it this time. Big, big swing. It's gone straight up in the air and straight into the hands of Jordan Clark. Chipped to mid-on, and that will be that. Surrey go 3 from 3. When we were going over the game, Phil, we missed out the biggest moment of the day. You can have Sean Abbott's run out of Tom Curran, but surely the moment of the day was when this 6 from Tom Curran was blasted into the crowd. And as you can see there, it was very, very professionally taken from the steward. We have his name, Narashedi Kundetti. We looked him up on Play Cricket. We thought this guy must be playing Saturday cricket at a high standard, but we couldn't find him. An outstanding catch in the crowd from the steward.
The coolest dude in all of South London. Thumbs up. It's a stunner. It's so nonchalantly taken as well. It was almost like he only thought, yeah, all right, I'll snare this one, when the ball was no more than 10 yards away from him. Absolutely beautiful.
And there he is. I reckon that guy has probably informed the steward that there's the £1,000 to...
Yeah, and even then, look at the face.
Anyway.
Superb stuff. It's been one hell of an afternoon.
It has been a very, very fun first home game of the season for Surrey in the T20 Blast. This is next game. We will be back. Surrey will play Sussex Sharks on Friday night, 6:30 start. There are some tickets still available, so if you can come and you haven't got a ticket,
you can still do that. But that should be a really good game. Sorry, 3 from 3 at the moment, and the word used by Sean Abbott to describe them so far this season is ominous. Not everything has clicked, yet they are still 3 from 3. That is everything from us here on the Surrey broadcast. Me, Yaz Rana, Phil Walker, Emma Calvert, who joined us earlier. Thanks so much to all the producers who put the show together. That's it for today. We'll see you next Friday.